There we go. Wanted to start right here with this beautiful, 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 beautiful flower is. Got some scent. Let's go. Ready to rock and roll. We're gonna go east this time, and gotta say gratitude for this 4.5, almost 5 kilos, 5 kilos forward. It's gonna round it up to 5 kilo turkey, and it's gonna tie in my backpack, and I'm gonna go back, go to the mountain, come back, cook it. Cook the turkey. I haven't had turkey in some time, a while, so thank you for the donation. It's gonna thaw there in the backpack. Canadian grade, and now the backpack is about 44, a little bit more, maybe close to 45 pounds. Total what I have in it, and the water, the balloon, and of course the raincoat and other utensils, and the backpack itself being on the back. Gonna put it on the back, and we're gonna drive it all the way to the mountain here from this beautiful garden. A bit on the chilly side. It is 9:44 a.m. I'm gonna stretch the back and look at these beautiful flowers here, and we're gonna go from NDG, and these beautiful flowers fresh to start the journey to the mountain. Grateful, thankful, rent paid, electricity bills paid, got food and coffee, and encouraging all to work out, train, exercise, and beautiful flowers, working with the laptop. Gotta work with the tools we're given, and gotta sing some of that rock and roll in the sun, and five times. The Crow sang a little bit of that song. Grateful, thankful, rent paid, electricity bills paid. Rainbow Dragon, not perfect, far from it. We're gonna go all the way to the mountain from NDG. You're gonna see the whole road all the way to the top. Switch it to that French, then rock and roll it, load it, and come back, because I want to get back before 3, so it's gonna take about 4 hours to cook the turkey, maybe 5 hours max, 5 hours, maybe 5 hours and a half, so that's max. If I come back by 3, should be ready for dinner, to be ready by 8, 9 latest, and rock and roll, have some turkey feast. And thank you again for the donation. I know it's gonna not be it's a pre-Thanksgiving one, but hey, gotta be thankful, grateful every day, because you never know, Thanksgiving, all the things that are going on, are gonna be good. Any emergency situation, nuclear war maybe, it's a possibility. Back in 5 years ago, I predicted an international conflagration, and had created and designed a workout training program system to go hand in hand with such an event. And I gotta give some salutations for, I love beautiful gardens, and I got a thing for yellow flowers, so whenever I see those yellow flowers there, I'm always on that beauty, and I enjoy the colorful flowers, and going to the mountain, independent aspie, artist, athlete, philosopher, geopolitical analyst, and theorist, whose main trinity of obsessive interest is geopolitics. And for years and years and years, I wake up, I do geopolitical analysis and revisions, and geopolitics is something which is a constant fluctuations, because events, of course, happen on a daily. And of course, my big month of geopolitics for annual is October. So October for me is the month of geopolitics, and I will discuss it again today as I go, of course, for my brothers and sisters, firefighters, LOV firefighters, butchers, bakers, nurses, doctors, grocery store clerks, those who are going to change some of those diapers in the daycares. Gotta put on those daycare diapers. They're changing diapers, and you got a squirrel there in the middle of the street eating a little bit of munching. You got those firefighters, got those truckers, got the youth, got those butchers and the bakers, got the truckers on the road. Got to thinking about them, those who made less than 50,000 this year, 2023, 2022. Ever since COVID, if you made less than 50,000. You're included. If you make more than $1 million, give some charity. 10% is 100,000. Don't be so selfish. And I'm not totally pretense. I don't have pretenses. I lust. I get moody. I conquered depression 2017 when I crossed Canada coast to coast. And I cannot stress enough the importance of regular physical exercise. It's a great mood stabilizer. I always feel much better. So now that I'm about, I just got my 15 minutes before I started. Got about 15 minutes that I got that donated of that turkey, so it's frozen. So I say, hey, gonna backpack it, go with the turkey on the mountain, and do meditative drill. Food security starts with the farmers, LOV farmers, food producers across North America. It's North Americans Unite 24/7. North Americans Unite 24/7. It is North Americans unite 24/7, and we gotta get it for that rock and roll. Now somebody cooking, somebody making some of that good loving, and somebody making some of those good dance moves. You know, my favorite sport is dancing, so some people play football, although I love football, love ballet, love boxing. Dancing is my favorite sport, so I dance, and you know, I don't do drugs, don't do alcohol, stuff like that. You know, I have like 5 joints, legal, but it's been a few years that I haven't done, you know, I think during COVID a little bit. And last pack of cigarettes for me was 2017 when I crossed Canada 2017. So 7 years ago, marking the year 7 years ago, you know, that event in my life changed my whole life. And, you know, this is why I got a lot of things to be grateful for. And I'm an artist, athlete, philosopher, geopolitical theoretical analyst, and mystic. Those 5 you can add. Today is, of course, October 8th, 2024, and I always meditate what's happening across the collective North American civilization as I go to the mountain with the sun, my public king, shining. You know, it was a bit on the cool side, 6 degrees when I left, so that's why I got a little bit on that coat. It was like 6 degrees when I left, so I gotta go all the way and meditate, if I can be of some help, you know, and apply it. I've had a lot of jobs, you know, and only a few weeks, few months with Asperger's, HFA, high functioning autism, you know. That's a neurological mental divergent condition which makes Aspies like myself predisposed to obsessive interest, overly verbose, intellectual, academic use of language and linguistic when it's not required, and repeating things, having echolalia, repeating what we might hear, a paragraph or a phrase. And for, you know, neurotypicals, it might be very on the difficult side to understand what Asperger's is for certain people. You know, it's like minority, one out of less than 0.44%. Last statistics for 2015 was less than 0.44%. So not even 1 out of 300. 1 out of 300 maybe, but it's not a common condition. It's not like 1 out of 10. It's not like 1 out of 20, 1 out of 50. Wow, even less than 1 out of 300. It's 0.44%. So less than half of a percentage are on the HFA, high functioning autism, aka Asperger's. And in the past 45 months, you know, I've been learning to live with the condition because there's no medication, and I just got to work on the symptoms, you know. And the symptoms are, well, obsessive interest. My trinity, of course, of obsessive interest is geopolitics, the study of geopolitics, geopolitical analysis, 24/7. And I predicted 5 years ago in 2019, I predicted an international conflagration, you know. Back in 2019, I predicted an international conflagration. That's what I predicted in 2019. An international conflagration. 2019, I predicted it. In a general manner, overall manner, what's unfolding now, I predicted it in 2019. I got proof of work, and I posted our first video linked in 2023. In 2023 today, that's 5 years, and it was 23rd, 2019. 23rd of October. 23rd of October, 2019, 23rd of October. You know, so that's what it is with that, and that's what it is as we move towards the sun now, and we got to get it on the go, and we always got to meditate. That civilization is a privilege. You know, that was my thesis back in 2023, last year, you know, the privilege of civilization. Imagine just having running water, clean water, renewable energy, drinkable energy, potable water, electricity, go hydroelectric, go hydroelectric dams, you know. All this is a privilege, you know. Civilization is a big privilege. So having the privilege of civilization, just walking on the road here, the main pedestrian road, imagine all the building when they built it. Whenever it was built, you know, over the decades, over the centuries, they had so much, of course, in common, so much to work which was done in the 20th century, solely in the 20th century, for the pedestrian streets, the pedestrians, the hydroelectric dams. I'm utilizing now the laptop, just to have a laptop, the brains and the muscle to construct the highways of, I'm referring first as a Quebec or Canadian North American, although I am for world peace, and world peace an international universal. I am fundamentally North American, you know. Montreal is my home here. Montreal is my home here. Has been in this life, in a parallel life, born several incarnations, past lives, incarnations, and past lives. And here we are for the go on the go. I gotta turn my head, you know. Gotta turn my head when I cross the street 3 times, usually left, right, or center, left, right, or center, left, right, or center, you know. So that's all we gotta go doing on the XYZ, and always gotta be doing in meditative state. And I admire construction workers, you know. I admire them when they build, they construct with the brains and the muscle and the technical know-how and taking the measurements, you know. I always admire, and as a geopolitical analyst and theorist, I always put it into the context of whatever it is that the geopolitical events of today have been unfolding and have of course transpired up to today when it was been into that, and of course all the things that are manifesting now in the world. Of course I predicted it back in 2019 in October, but I predicted it as a North American, and my citizens, my initiatives, of course, my protocols are of course for the North American collective, for the North American civilizational complex, you know, for the complex of the North American civilization, for North America, in other words, you know, not for an outside sphere of outside externalities, but for North America, you know. Because North America is fundamentally what I know, and I do know that the popes, my king, the sons, are going to traverse safely, prudently, turn the head left or right, because my security, my liberty, you know, has to be in concordium. Concordia Salus is the Latin motto here of Montreal. You know, it has to be in concordium with the rest, you know, of my fellow citizens who I interact and who utilize the same public sphere. That's the public-private partnership, you know. In the public, I got added responsibilities, duties, obligations, which of course, under the normal circumstances of life, I would have not had under the normal circumstances of life. It would have not been the same, you know. It would have not been the same circumstances, you know, if I would have been staying on the XYZ, you know, in my underground room office and temple. It would have not been the same. It would have not been the same, right? If I would have stayed home in my underground dragon's lair, I would have not had the same obligations, duties, responsibilities as I do have now, you know. So if the children are happy, content, joyous, I am as well. So their safety is, I always say to my brother Bill Blair, now that I'm passing through here, you know, you got to put a new protocol, you know, new protocol, new initiative, new protocol to go change some diapers in the daycares if you're going to put on the uniform of Canadian Armed Forces, because of course they got to have a salary. They got to have a good salary, but you're not mercenaries. So that would be a new protocol that I'm calling Bill Blair. My brother citizen Bill Blair, you know, Minister of National Defense, to please do that. Get that Halloween ready. That's a nice dragon. And of course, to put on a new protocol. The new protocol, of course, will be protocol to change diapers. If you're gonna, before you put on the uniform, allowed to serve for defense, you know. Should be implemented a new protocol on this. I'm calling on my Secretary of State Defense, Austin. Because I was born in the United States 3 times, once as a woman, twice as a man. You get that 50-50 now. And of course, I've served in 2 different wars, 156 years apart. 2 different wars, 156 years apart, between 1776 and 1977. Served in 2 different wars, the same army, U.S. Army. In previous incarnations, you know, just read one of my favorite poems, Through a Glass Darkly, where of course it's elaborated therein. There's an elaboration therein, of course, with George Patton, where he believes, you know, in reincarnations. As so do I. And sometimes was born a man and woman. I was born on the island here several times. I actually was a woman, was born, and I cooked, I cleaned for the Coureur de Bois. Then I was born. When I was a man, I served in the RCMP. At the beginning, it wasn't called the RCMP, but at the beginning, I served, you know, in the RCMP, and so that was that drill with that. So You know, if you believe in that stuff, I'm also a mystic. I do, and the Pope's my king. The Pope, and I like to go to a mountain. You know, Aspies. We have certain routines, and for years and years and years and years, me it's waking up, doing my rituals, sun salutations, meditations, and stretching, working out, training, exercising, then doing geopolitical analysis, theorizing, revisions, and I specialize mostly, I know mostly 20th century politics, geopolitics. It includes politics, science, includes a lot. I mean, when you say geopolitics, it's as broad enough sphere, it encompasses the whole universe, array, everything to do with civilizations, regions, nation states, everything to do with nation states, civilizations, and all, of course, which encompasses those matters of civilizations, nation states, their interactions, their past alliances, their, of course, wars, conflicts, and I predicted what's happening now. In 2019, in October, October is the month of geopolitics where I do big revisions, annual revisions. I do it on the daily and morning 24/7. It's geopolitics, fitness, sports. Dancing is my favorite sport. I can dance for hours, and you know, Rainbow Dragon gets that priestess. You know, you get that 2-in-1 Adrian Hana Dragon being androgynous, pansexual. Forget that when I discuss geopolitics. Is today I go for those workers, butchers, bakers, nurses, doctors. Always thinking, always meditating what's happening across the North American complex, and I gotta turn my head sometimes, you know, because the brakes malfunction. What if the brakes malfunction? What if the brakes malfunction? If the brakes malfunction, that can be problematic. If the citizen driver presses the accelerator instead of the brake, that's another problematic, which can, of course, arise in the situational context of course, being that it can happen. You know, so we gotta be aware, and I gotta be aware that I'm in the public, and with my neurodivergence, I have to also be aware in my interactions with others. Usually I let people know now for the past 45 months or so, because I've been told for years that you have HFA, high functioning autism, aka known as Asperger's, you're an Aspie, you're an Aspie, you're an Aspie, an Aspie. So, yep, makes sense. Lost a lot of friends. Making friends with benefits only from now on. Pledge your allegiance, legions, thou art legions, and making friends with benefits from now on. Pledge your allegiance, legions, making friends with benefits, friends with benefits, friends with benefits from now on. But friends with benefits from now on. Pledge your allegiance, legions, and it's so nice and sunny today. You know, so nice and sunny today. So nice and sunny, and it's gotta be on that go. If on that go, and that's what it is with that. And gotta get it on the sun, and you know, we gotta increase in acts of goodness and kindness. And some people confuse, misunderstand Asperger's with that we lack empathy and compassion. Is not that. Is we like to show our empathy and compassion by action. So we like to do or offer things if we can offer something, you know, whatever it is. Money, I am financially stressed. My main problem now is actually financial stress, you know. Financial stress, and being super financially stressed, you know, is something which I dealt with, I dealt with, and you know, I'm still dealing with it, and had some employment, something coming up maybe in terms of employment, you know, so maybe we're gonna get some part again seasonal work with Post Canada, and I'm gonna do some videos on Post Canada. It's more than 156 years old, but wow, look at that. Rosé, baby. Hey, look at these rosés, man. Look at those rosés. Beautiful rosé color flowers, wow. Yeah, I love me some of those flowers, as you know. So as I go here, I'm gonna pass by from NDG. We're gonna go by that West Mount, and now we're going east. Yesterday, when we came from the old port, we came south. That's a few kilometers, like 13.3, 13.4 kilometers that way, and then we came by the river. So yesterday we came towards the sun. We went back west. Now we're going east, and then we're gonna go back, you know. Then we're gonna come back west. So now we're going east. south, north, west. I live in the west of the mountain. I'm going towards the mountain, my second home. I'm going east. East, east. Always gotta be cautious, you know, cautious. Because the brakes can malfunction, so I always stop and check. And be careful, you know, with the malfunctioning, because what if the citizen presses the accelerator? The accelerator instead of the brake. The accelerator instead of the brake. It's possible, eh? It's possible, it's possible. So, it's possible, you know. These things happen. These things happen. Children are playing, and that's important. The children safe. It brings me joy to see the children joyous, you know. They're joyous. That's worth defending, putting a uniform for, you know. And they have to be salaried, good salaries, you know. Good salaries for the troops, for the defense, of course. A good salary, you know, but it's not, we're not mercs. I don't want anything to do with mercenaries. Mercenaries should not approach the North American Collective. For the North American Collective, mercs should not approach it. Mercs should stay, of course, far away from stay over in the Atlantic is that way the east, and the Pacific is that way the west. So now the camera's pointing west, west, west. So that way is the Pacific, that way is north, and they should stay as far away, you know, far away mercs. And gotta tell that brother citizen Bill Blair, you know, change some diapers, Canadian Armed Forces, because before you put on a uniform, and please Wall Street, millionaires, you know, reduce the cost, reduce the cost, reduce the cost, reduce the cost of the tickets, you know. So they got to get that reduction of the cost of the tickets. 44.9%, that's the estimated cost, which I estimate of the above increase in the goods, prices of goods, 44.9 since 2020, about average. Some are more, some are less, of course. Some are even almost double, right? 70, 80, 90 even. Some even more than double. More rare, more than double. But since I had COVID, I survived. I got triple vaxxed. In February, March, I was very sick and ill. I also survived another injury. I'm waiting for the medical archives, where I was surprised. Somebody's kind of was a surprise attack, and I had a dislocated shoulder, you know. Like my whole arm was kind of finished, then got kind of miraculously, magic, put back, and then before that I have rah. So I have like blackouts of memory of the events in my life prior to that, but mostly the past 7 years. Healed and going towards the sun, and written and write rock and roll songs every day. It's part of my obsessive interest. Speaking of rock and roll, let's hit it up a little bit, because I'm an artist as well, although with HFA, high functioning autism, and Asperger's. But I like to rock and roll for the butchers on the road, truckers and those plumbers. They be plumbing up, getting on some that chopper, gotta get that health. Gotta get it for those on the ground, for those changing the aqueducts. Gotta get it for the aqueducts, gotta get it for the sparkling plugs. Gotta get it with a hammer. It ain't all about fight. You gotta get some loving. It's not all about fighting, it takes some love, understanding, kindness, and all those, you know. So it's a compendium of actions and of interactions which we gotta be aware of, and myself including. Now, for example, I need to utilize the washrooms. So I'm not gonna film in the washrooms, but just gonna pause it because I really need to do that number one. So here's Montreal Hawk Island. You can see the river, and I'm gonna go get it in, and we're gonna continue afterwards. And so I gotta be meditating, just because I made my thesis in 2023 called The Privilege of Civilization. Just meditate, just to have running water, just to have functioning toilets, public sanitation, the highways, the electric, just public sanitation. So much work, brains and muscle in the 20th century just to have all that, you know, just to have all that, 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 you know. And the sun's shining, and I play that black and white and rainbow. You want to do some LOV, ready for love, and gotta get it on that defense, 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 and may I be avenged that sevenfold, 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 may I be avenged that sevenfold. Island of the Hawk, Hawk Island, Hawk Island, Hawk Island, Hawk Island, Montreal. We gotta go do it on the go, and gotta go get it inside, you know. And it's always something which it is, and gotta put the pause here and oh, it only opens late. It opens late. Opens late. It's too early. Oh well. Gotta love those firefighters, firefighters, firefighters. Somebody gotta love them. Somebody make them good loving tonight. Firefighters of North America, give them some feet washing. I'll put that on the table. I'll wash the feet. Massage kiss. The firefighters, butchers, bakers, truckers. We need to get that Dragon Army, Citoyen service coast to coast, you know. The North American Collective Workers Party. The North American Collective Workers Party. The North American Collective Workers Party. You know, that's what we gotta do on that. And sometimes we gotta interject, and now doing a meditation, you know, on the phones, you know. So that's what I gotta do with that, you know. So, gotta wait here. Gonna wait here and in the sun, meditate. How many truckers, how many diapers have been changed? The daycares across North America, how many aqueducts are about to be changed? Sewers, public workers, sanitation, bus drivers, grocery store clerks, all making less than 50,000 annually. You know, they're athletes. Please reduce NFL, National Football League, NHL, National Hockey League, NBA. Please reduce the cost of the tickets by 44.9%. 44.9%. 44.9%. 44.9%. 44.9%. 44.9%, my estimation. For the public sanitation workers, give them some discounts. Give them some discounts. Give them some discounts. Give them half price. Give them tickets to the firefighters of North America, NFL, National Football League, NHL, National Hockey League, NBA, National Basketball Association, MLB, finance women's sports leagues. Reduce the cost of the tickets ASAP and give, please. Halloween is coming, so for the children, calling for the reduction of cost, you know. Gotta slash those costs by half ASAP before the season, you know. Before the season. I kind of like that construction building there. I kind of like the architecture. It's nice. It makes me think of a You know, something which is like baroque, like a fantasy, from a fantasy line, from some fantasy line where just kind of seems a little bit to me. It makes me, it inspires me some creative artistry. I would love to do a little dance there, you know, dressed up and kind of like a Halloween style, something like that, perhaps. Whatever the case. Whatever the case. Something like that. So back to geopolitics, of course. And I gotta state and restate. Not just because repetition and is part of being an Aspie, and having Asperger's, you know, is also because it's true and I have proof. Back in 2019, had of course created, made, and produced a workout training program system designed to go hand in hand with a World War III scenario, of which of course I have proof. I have proof, you know. So the proof is, you know, I am an independent geopolitical analyst and theorist, and you know, geopolitics is my main obsessive interest. Where I got a trinity: geopolitics, sports, fitness, dancing is my favorite sport, and rock and roll. So, 2019 October, I had concluded, based on an analysis, that humanity is again set going towards an international conflagration. In other words, a World War III. So that was the analysis. That was the analysis. Theoretical analysis. Based on analysis, basically. So analyzing different events that had transpired up to that point in time, and of course going in the past. So of course I had concluded, of course, that due to that fact, in the 20th century, many countries, regions, nation states had not fully resolved their 20th century's conflicts, and there will be a reprieve, there will be a continuity. They will continue again. We'll continue again. Gotta salute the truck drivers. We'll continue again. So that's what basically happened. And potentially again the third point of contention parallel to the Middle East and Eastern Europe, Russia, Ukraine, is of course the possibility for Taiwan, which is known as the ROC, Republic of China, and of course mainland China, People's Republic of China. So that's the third point which can explode any minute. Because they have an unresolved conflicts dating to the 20th century. So they had not fully resolved. Gotta get on that green. So that was the conclusion, and I gotta say I could split this 50-50 with my anonymous friend. That's a nice red and white, eh? That's a nice red and white there. That's a nice red and white, you know? That's a nice red and white. And these flowers rock and roll so much. I just LOV these beautiful bright colors. Just nice. There's something that I really love about those colors there. White flowers also, but I like the more yellow, and the combination, like the purple like those ones, you know. I know it's not that visible on the camera because I'm working with a laptop, but those got that purple, shades of purple. It's basically shades of purple, right? So they kind of rock and roll with that, and now I gotta try to speed it up a bit because, you know, now I gotta do both numbers, so gotta get there on time. So now we do not have a. It's on the road, man, in the field. Give to charity, Wall Street. Ah, ah. Gotta give to that charity, man. I know, I give permission to people to laugh because with Asperger's, you know, I have weird mannerisms. Aspies, we have socially weird mannerism and we're weird socially, but we have our strengths, you know, and if you discuss geopolitics with yours truly, you better be well armed, you know. You better be well armed, you know, with the geopolitics. So that's what it is with that, and yeah, we gotta turn our heads left and right once again, and gotta get that turbulations and workers there getting a little bit of that work, cover a little bit. So I always admire people on the cranes, you know. I have a little bit of an obsession with cranes. I always look at the cranes and try to be mindful where were they built, how much they can operate, you know, and how much weight they can carry up above, you know, because cranes are something which are fundamental as part of the aspect of course, being able to go on the high rise, in the high rise, in the high rise, you know, in the high rise, in the high rise, you know. So that's why we're gonna go do it, man, with the cranes, with the cranes, you know. So we gotta get doing on that, you know. We gotta get doing on those, you know. So XYZ, man. That's what it is. That's what it is, and that's what it is with that. So as we go on the road, approaching the destination part-time, well, not fully, I guess. So back to geopolitics again. In 2019, I predicted back in 2019, I predicted what it is. You know, F15. Kind of like it. This one also, it's kind of nice. Yeah, it works, I guess, for the public. Gotta get it on the go with that, and always gotta be mindful of the road, you know, my fellow citizens are there. Kind of thing for my prudence, their prudence, my security and my liberty and my work. Is I do these vlogs, YouTube long marches and to the mountain, which I love. My second home. I love going there and makes me feel good. Fitness, I lost between 80 and 93 pounds. So, but my work and liberty and security has to be in balance, in harmony and equilibrium with my fellow citizens who are there on the road. Whatever their activities they're doing on the phone, walking the dog, and or just marching, relaxing, and gotta turn my head left and right. Be prudent and get on that excessive. You know? See beautiful Montreal. That's you can see part of it there. And I really love that. Wow, that's really nice. Look at that. That's huge. That's really big. Wow. Those are big Halloween. Like 6, 7 feet, 11 feet. They're so tall. Jeez. Jeez, man. Kids are gonna love those. They're like 11 feet, you know? Good job, I guess. The children are gonna be happy, and that's what matters with Halloween. But damn, those are big, like 11. I'm 7, 11, I believe. Maybe less, 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 and that's it. That's all, you know. So That's it with that. LOV, and that's it, you know. Gotta get that beautiful white. It's just white, but it's nice, you know. It's nice. It's white. Combination with white and red. I like that combo. And yes, now we're getting close to getting a little bit of that washroom, man. Super important because we entered Westmount and got those public workers. Gotta get those trees chopped on the block. On the 5th. And there we go. Now it's gonna be time also to take my jacket off. It was cold, well, cold for me because I like hot, but it wasn't really cold. But it was chilly, you know. It is autumn. It's the 8th. Before 9, after 7, look. That's the river, that's where we were. We were that far by the river there, see. We were that far over there. From here, Montreal's a big island. 2.5 million people, metropolis. Like a small country, you know. So now we're gonna drive it in, man. A few yards to go for the few yards, B. Pause it, you know. I'm gonna start untying my belt. So I really need to go. And we made it without incident. When you gotta go, you gotta go. Beautiful here. When you gotta go, buddy. Ooh. Oh yeah. I'll wash my hands after, lock it, and see you in a bit. Woo-hoo-hoo. Thank you for the public workers. Thank you to the public workers who build it. We're gonna get it for those on the road. We're gonna go hydrate. Gonna put this in the backpack. So you got a little bit of that tennis field, but what a relief. I made it just in time, but it might have been 5 little drops just before I was able to, you know, 5 little drops. 5 little drops. It happens, you know, to the best of us. Don't judge, not perfect, far from it. And some things I am mediocre, some things I am average, some things I am so-so, but right here we're gonna get it for the drill. We're gonna put it in the backpack, and here's what we're gonna put. I just remember why it's so heavy. I got that turkey. Gotta get back. What time is it? 10:41. Yeah, going to the top of the mountain. Gonna take that coffee and do a little bit of dance, maybe here and there. Switch to that French liable. Gonna go hydrate. And here we're gonna put it on the backpack again. And now I guess I can put it in, but yeah, I should put it in now because got a bit of the sweat, you know. So just gonna put it in the backpack because it's warming up a little bit. Not warm, but warm on the not so cold side, you know. So, just gonna put it inside there. And, put it in. Got that football auctioning. The backpack a million. Gonna give half 50% to my anonymous friend. Gonna auction the backpack to my anonymous friend. Gonna auction the backpack to my anonymous friend. And it wasn't my friend because of the money. Cause I ain't never HAD, none, any. So there we go on the go. So it is here on the drive, and here we got it on the go, and here we go for that do, for that don't, for that do it, for that lovers, for the butchers, for the bakers, for the nurses, for the truckers, for the daycare workers, changing some of those diapers, androgynous, pansexual, rainbow dragon, sending some LOV to the fathers LOV to the butchers, LOV to the bakers, LOV to the nurses, LOV to the doctors, LOV to those grocery store clerks. How about those warehouse workers, man? Imagine all those warehouse workers now, chopping it on the block, loading up the trucks, unloading the trucks. North American workers, North American workers, collective workers party. Let's see if it still got some running water. I really hope so. Oh yes. Imagine the public works. Thank you, public workers who build that washroom, their facility, which I utilize. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And I'm gonna be hydrating this. Thank you to those who built underground in the 20th century, all those pipes, pipes, and all that system with the brains and muscle for yours truly, and not just me, your nest to have this water. And across North American Collective, there's many, many like that. Just do a meditation in the 20th century. Now we're in the 21st, 2024, and I'm hydrating. Thanks. It takes a little bit of that old school. Let's go rock and roll. Oh yeah. Whew. That's a good hydration. And that's a little bit of that Montreal there. You can see it's not that visible, but you can see part of the island there, and I mean part of the river, because we're surrounded by an island. And now I'm gonna go drill it straight and straight on it, and these do not pollute. They gotta be recycled, you know. Things gotta be put into recycling, you know. We gotta get on that recycling and don't pollute, don't leave trash, and get it on the go. And here you can come with, see the river, I was mentioning the river. So here you can come with dogs, and I love poodles. I can pet, but certain dogs with that type of fur makes me triggers allergic reaction. I start sneezing when I interact too closely with the dog. So it's not necessarily, I guess it's a strain of allergic reactions to start sneezing, you know, as I have it on camera. I think last year, a few months ago, or last autumn maybe, I was deep in the forest as I go, and it was a big dog without a leash, got close, like maybe a few feet away from my face. It got that close, and I have it on camera. Right away, I sneezed like 5 times. Achoo, 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 achoo. So that's what I get from different types of dogs, depending on the fur. So I don't know all the types of dogs, and except for poodles. Poodles I can pet and enjoy petting poodles, but the other ones, if I pet, if they get too close, I start sneezing. So depending on the breed of the dog, type of dog, the breed. So now I will to discuss, as I pass now, will to discuss the DRT. But before I do, I want to salute the firefighters, public workers now, you know, on those big trucks. Imagine all the brains and the muscle to build these trucks here. How much brains and muscle, and gotta put those hammers. And of course I always put it in the geopolitical perspective. Now I just imagine, of course, how we can get some defensive machines, because my protocols initiatives are only and merely strictly foremost and foremost for the defense of what I call the North American Collective, the North American Civilizational Complex, or the Collective North American Civilizational Complex, the complex North American civilization, of which we have now 3G, 4G, 5G going on those airwaves, and send a little bit of that love into the firefighters, to the butchers, to the bakers, you know. It ain't all about rock and roll stars, and it's not all about football stars, although I love my football gridiron, you know. Gotta play that rainbow 24/7. Dancing is my favorite sport, but you know, sometimes we just gotta meditate. Daycare workers, you know, nurses, that's a lot of labor, you know, changing diapers. And that's why I say new protocol for the NORAD, NATO armies of the free world. There's no mercenaries. You ain't playing the mercs, you know. Gotta get that defense. It starts with those in the toddlers, in the daycares, going all the way to the seniors, senior citizens who are in the 20th century. I had the opportunity, privilege to work with senior citizens. That was quite something special. I really enjoyed it. But, you know, with Asperger's, and sometimes it's more difficult to. Back then, I was just working on my symptoms. I was like 50-50, but not during COVID. I had employments, but But Aspies, if you're an Aspian, you know about HFA, high functioning autism, fully aware that we can discuss, converse for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours about our obsessive interest. And again, the month of October is geopolitics, so I'm gonna go back to 2019 again. In 2019, in the month of October, I do big annual geopolitical revisions. So I revise the theories, I revise all the events up to that point in time, starting from, basically it's from November last year, or from January to October, but it's mostly from November till October. So there's an overlap, right? There's an overlap. But on the calendar, usually October, for me, October is, for many, many years, the month where is the annual revisions of all my geopolitical analysis and theorizing. And I've written tens of thousands of pages on different USB keys somewhere over there, which most of course, are dictated in an oral communicative manner. Of course, as I am dictating now on the march. Because we rock and roll as we go also takes a little bit of that action, a little bit of those steps, And my fitness journey, I always say, commences now today. As I've been on the fitness journey for many years now. I began when I crossed Canada coast to coast. That event in my life really turned my whole life around, turned my whole life around. It really changed my life. When I crossed Canada coast to coast, I say, here, a great family, great Canadian North American family, Sometimes we have our own problems now more than ever, maybe, than we have lived. And tough economic, financial times for many, not all, for many, not all, for many, not all. And that's why we gotta go do it with the drill on the drill, and that's why we gotta go do it to be mindful of solutions. I guess as an ASPE, we focus mainly with solutions, and I believe my solutions are best that I bring to the table, namely the DRT, debt refusion theory, DRT, debt refusion theory, democratic fusion theory, DRT, debt refusion theory. I'm gonna cross on the other side. I don't want to interject. Be, of course, aware that it's gotta cross the street safely, prudently. Of course, let them work, because I gotta cross there, So I wonder what they're doing in terms of mechanics. I always like to know more details. With ASPE, sometimes we inspect objects close and we look at objects. I always meditate on different machinery and all the machines we built, to just take up the garbage. Those big machines need renewal, And those who pick up the garbage, the compost, the recycling, they're also athletes. They perform those athletics, As I am calling for the building of the North American, the Great North American People's Coliseum. Great North American People's Imperial Coliseum. The North American People's Imperial Coliseum. The North American People's Imperial Coliseum on the Canadian-US border. To have weekly events, venues, Canadians, Quebecers, North Americans, my Mexican brothers and sisters to come together. And that's the part of the ongoing dream, my dream, which is fundamentally a call for a public-private partnership, across the North American collective civilizational complex, across the North American civilizational complex. North Americans unite. I am a North American, Canadian Quebecer. Personally, I do not consider myself a member of a diaspora, I am for world peace and internationalism. But fundamentally, I know North America. I really, really know the island. More than anything, I know the island of Montreal. As much as I've read, studied in libraries and books about civilizations, about privileges, the privilege of civilization. That was my thesis, and as the people's doctor, civilization is a privilege. everything we have, the electricity, Hydro-Quebec workers, you know. Sometimes we don't meditate, we take, you know, for granted, but unless there's a problem or a storm, right? And when we lose power, then we kind of meditate upon it, but it's something which we made it so far, North Americans, and you know, we're trying to fight racism. Sometimes we have the subconscious in us, you know. I put on the table to my black brothers and sisters, my neighbors included, you know, in my neighborhood, a few miles away, a few kilometers away from here, out in the west, and my North American blacks, North American black brothers and sisters, 13.3, 13.4, 13.3, 13.4, 13.3, 13.4, you know, the 13.3, 13.4, whoever it is, you know, whoever it is, and we gotta get it on the drill, you know, so we gotta make it together. We made it this far, you know, together we made it this far. I put on the table kisses, hugs, rock and roll, whatever needs to be done. That rock and roll got it, and those kisses, and that's how I do it, with action, you know, rather than just paying some lip service and blah blah blah. I like to offer things more of whatever nature, you know. I guess that's more of an Aspie thing. I guess it's a neurodivergent maybe protocol how we do it as HFAs being an HFA, high functioning autistic, and high functioning autism being an Aspie, you know. It's those things which we have, and those things which we do, and those things which we are involved with, and those things which we are on the key, and those things which of course we gotta be loading and uploading for them, and those things which of course we gotta be mindful of on the daily. And see, beautiful flowers, wow, those are nice. The red ones are really nice. The red ones are really nice, you know. The red ones are really nice, you know, so it's always admiration of different designs of architecture and floral designs, you know. I like good gardens. I like me some good color, and maybe some Aspies, you know, like myself, have that obsessive interest, gardening. So Aspies, it could be gardening. For some, it could be science. In a parallel life, I'm also an Aspie, got that HFA, high functioning autism, but in a parallel life, it's science, technology, physics, mathematics, logic, and I build, design supercomputers, ICBM rockets, microchips, satellites, and radio antennas. And look at this. Wow, 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 wow. Isn't this something special? All the way to the top. Got that lion at the entrance. All the way to the top, there's pumpkins, eh? You see? It's a pumpkin house. That's so many. Never seen so many clustered. So wow. I counted 44, but there must be more. 44 just on the first stairs, and there's 3, so triple. Anyway, so in a parallel life, you know, it could be gardening for some Aspies, it could be history, it could be geography, it could be mechanics, obsessive interest. My trinity, geopolitics, that's my obsessive interest, and I am an independent geopolitical analyst and theorist, and sports and fitness. Dancing is my favorite sport, and parallel rock and roll, that's my trinity, you know. And geopolitics, to the point that I was able to predict in a general manner, again, not in every detail, exactly the amount of tanks, whatever use, and drones use, and exactly how it was going to go, but in a general manner, I predicted an international conflagration. Mainly, the main premise, common denominator, was that due to the unresolved conflicts of the 20th century, there was going to be a continuity of these conflicts into the 20th century. There's going to be a continuity into these conflicts in the 20th century. So that was the main proposition. the main common denominator, if you will. So I do it on the daily, and I do revisions, and of course, this was 2019 in October. So back then, that's what I was doing, you know. That's what I was doing. In 2019, that's what I was doing. That's what I was doing. That's what I was doing. That's what I was doing in 2019. You know, so 2019, I do it for years and years and years. But back then, in October, I had came to the conclusion, due to the unresolved conflicts of the 20th century, and that's what we're witnessing. Here, I say always, in the North American complex, the collective North American civilizational complex, there's tensions, there's work to be done, but we generally, overall, we made it. We were able to make compromises. Compromises on the French language. 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 Compromises on the French. Compromises on the French language. Compromises on the French language, you know. Compromises on the French language. The kids are gonna love it. The kids are gonna love it. The kids are gonna love it. The kids are gonna love it, you know. So they're gonna be on that go, you know. So they're gonna be on that, and it's a little bit of stormy clouds. I got everything I need, I guess, in the backpack. And the other day I gotta mention it again, because Sunday I never seen anything like that before. I saw 5 lightnings. One in the north, one in the south, one in the east, one in the west, and one kind of above. So it's kind of like a circle around the island of Montreal. Usually I see them concentrated in the north, or in the southeast, or in the northeast, or in the south, or in the west, or in the east, or in the northeast, or in the southwest. But to be all around, that was something special. I don't think I ever lived such an event as that. That was Sunday. So it was roundabout. So that's what it was back then. 3 days ago, Sunday. I gotta mention that because it was an event I never experienced it. But my heart, of course, went out, of course, all last week to North Carolina. I gotta give a shout out, some love for the reconstruction. Love you, North Carolina. It's firefighters, butchers, bakers, nurses of North America, train conductors on the road. Thinking about you, the butchers, the bakers, the nurses, those in the warehouses, loading, unloading, Canada Post, chopping up, delivering, doing some delivering, doing some of those cooking, baking, cleaning, cooking, baking, cooking, cleaning, baking, cooking, cleaning, you know, or in whatever order, cooking, baking, cleaning. I'm gonna do some of that, cooking myself, and I guess it's cold, so I don't know if it's gonna thaw. THAW, because it was cold, and the turkey got a thank for that donation, and it's not Thanksgiving, but I'm gonna live it, carpe diem it every day, man. Carpe diem it every day. Carpe diem it every day, man. Gonna get carpe diem, and they're gonna get carpe diem, and they're gonna get those carpe diem with that, and they're gonna be on the go for that carpe diem, and that's what they're gonna be doing, you know. On the go now for the XYZ, for the XYZ, for the XYZ, you know. So as we go on the mountain and meditating for that LOV, you know. So sometimes we gotta get somebody making love, man. That's what's important. You know, the youth, the children, happy, joyous. That's the most important. Me, I've suffered, I struggle, I've been depressed, suicidal, you know. Who knows? Who knows what else they be saying about me, you know? Who knows what else they be saying about me? Who knows what else saying about me? Who knows what else they be saying about me? They be saying about me, you know. I do my compassion with action, refuse none, you know. I don't turn the other cheek, may I be avenged at 11-fold, you know. I don't turn the other cheek, may I be avenged at 11-fold, you know. I don't turn the other cheek, may I be avenged at 11-fold. Hey, senior citizens there in the back, I see them holding hands, walking, coming up, and gotta salute, send some LOV to our senior citizens. You know, I had the good opportunity when I worked with them. There was quite an experience which I enjoyed, and thought I did a little bit of good in a certain department and a little bit of improvement in a certain areas, you know, but I can improve myself, you know, I can clean more, you know. I'm not perfect, far from it, perfect. I am not far from it, you know. I can clean, matter of fact, when I put the turkey, I'm gonna get some cleaning and get some of that clean, and try to scrape some mold. Put the turkey for dinner. What time is it? 11:04. Get those yellow, and hug like you never hugged before, you know. That's the main message. Hug like you never hugged before, you know. Hug like you never hugged before. That is the main message. That is the main message. That is the main message, you know. We gotta hug like you never hugged before, you know. So it's always on the good, and sometimes I still get moody, obsessed. I've been craving a massage therapy session for years now. I've been discussing it on my marches, but you know what? Firefighters, nurses, public workers, public sanitation workers, firefighters, nurses, public sanitation workers. Finance them millionaires, billionaires, a massage therapy session, because I could do without, you know. I could do without. I'm gonna take a bath. I got that turkey, so I'm grateful. I got my mountain there, and I got that watch. You got that zero, and always gotta be stretching a bit on the back and making sure I get that circumvention and making sure I get on the go, and here at the boulevard, McDougal, and we gotta get it on the go. So here we go all the way up to the top. You know, financially stressed. I just passed by a Ramsey. If I know somebody who deserves to live in a big house like that, is my anonymous friend. You know, who deserves to be multi-millionaire, 7 times richer than Celine, 7 times richer than Taylor Swift. Love you, Swifty. Oprah, charity, support, build the 3. I will to build the 3. Here on the mountain, will to build a forgotten goddess temple at the top. House of the Dragon, pyramid. House of the Dragon, pyramid on the mountain, and the third one. We gotta get it on the go. And the Rainbow People's Palace. You know, the Rainbow People's Palace. The Rainbow People's Palace for my fellow LGBTQ community. That's what I will. To build the Forgotten Goddess Temple. Forgotten Goddess Temple. House of the Dragon, Forgotten Goddess Temple, and the third building. And these are pretty nice. I gotta love this architecture here, man. Whoever thought of this architecture and whoever built it, whoever comes to build, help to build a Forgotten Goddess Temple. Forgotten Goddess Temple. I'm gonna credit trillions of kisses, trillions of feet washing. Wash your feet, massage, kiss, cook. Help build the Forgotten Goddess Temple, Forgotten Goddess. I said GODDSS, and every time I go to the mountain, I got added additions, trillions of kisses. Credited from the Forgotten Goddess, I get added trillions of kisses credited from the Forgotten Goddess. Every time I reach the top, over there, the back there, I get another trillion added to the 718. To the 718 trillions of kisses. To the 718 trillions of kisses. 718 trillions of kisses. That's correct. So that's my will, to build a Forgotten Goddess Temple. Build a house, pyramid of the dragon, Forgotten Goddess Temple. House of the Dragon, pyramid of the dragon. Red scarlet, crimson, and Forgotten Goddess Temple, Forgotten Goddess Temple. And of course the Rainbow People's Palace. That's my dream. So anybody stepping to the plate, I'm willing to credit for life, trillions of kisses, Trains of push-ups, trains of squats, washing of the feet. Feet washing, kisses, massages, feet washing, kisses, massages, and hey, somebody who builds like this, we got great construction workers in North America. Children are happy, I'm happy. They're going to from the mountain there. If they're joyous, I'm joyous. Gonna go all the way up. Gonna get it by the side and see what they're up to. Gonna get out of their way.
Like you wanted to grab it.
And these are always guys.
Bro, no hands needed. I'm like,
Yeah. They're happy, I'm happy, you know. The youth are happy, I'm happy, you know. That's for them that we're gonna put on the uniform, Canadian Armed Forces, NORAD, NORAD, NORAD. And for them as well. For both, coast to coast, ocean to ocean, you know. It's not playing mercenaries here, but I love the youth, you know, I love the youth. And they were smiling, happy, and that's what's the important thing, you know, getting ready for the Halloween. And I wish I could paint these stairs, and maybe anybody will finance me that I go up and down. I would love to put some color here on the stairs. It's kind of gray, you know, just some purple, some blue, some purple, some blue, some purple, some blue, some orange right here, man. Anybody want to support? I go up and down the stairs, and now I can let my main. It's 11:10, still morning, so I'm gonna try to be back by 3. Well, from here, so yeah, 3. We're gonna finish here, and then we're gonna close it in and switch to that French, and that's gonna be it, because it's 11:10. So in 2 hours, it's gonna be 1:10. Perfect. So that's gonna be the drill. Now I will to discuss the DRT. Stretch my back, because I got that backpack. It's a little bit more than 44, almost 45, I would say. 45 pounds, not kilos. So it's not that heavy. Heavier for some, less than others. But for this pro-labor love, universal revolutionary centrist, laying the foundations for the dancing goddess and the dragon kingdom from Mount Royal. Mount Royal here, my second home. Mount Royal, my second home, and we gotta get on the drill and go up and down, and drill it down, and then my main loose. There we go. We're in the wild, and watch it for branches here, because they fall. Fellow youth, children gave me a smile, and I watched them like a hawk, you know. Watched them like a hawk. Why that number 5 there? 5555. I don't know, maybe. Yeah, it's a 5 on it. See? 5. Well, from this angle, that angle, you see it differently, but it's a 5. The number 555 in white. 5. It's marked. Gonna wait a bit before I discuss the DRT, because there's some of that noise which sometimes is required. And one thing before I'm gonna venture out, because see, this is the main road. the main road where most people come, most people stay. I go venture into deep in the forest. I will, of course, to say, restate again and again as I do, that please be careful if you venture in the forest. Be mindful that there's falling branches like this one. See, that one fell. So see that one. So the trees, some trees are not that healthy. If you go deep in the forest, is an added risk. See those ones there. That's proof. I always let people know, because here most people stay on the main road, right? This is the main road. This is the main road, you know. But if you venture deep, you get the branches. So you gotta be prudent, you know. It's prudence. If you venture deep, you know, because you gotta watch above. So be ready to rock and roll. Be ready to rock and roll if you go in, because most people, they congregate, they stay here on the main road, so you can go round about like that. See? Oh yeah, somebody holding hands there. Yeah. It's on the main road. Like that, inside. We're gonna go get it on the go, and they're there holding hands, and that's why they're gonna go there. Good for you guys. See those branches here? See those branches? They fall there, so if you come in the forest, be mindful. Some of these branches, I toss them myself, you know? So when I come here in the wild, you best, if you're not too familiar, you best stay on the main road. On the main road, you know? So it's best stay on the main road. That's it with that. And if you do come, be mindful. The forest is the wilderness, you know? And you got added branches which fall like down cracks. So you get cracks. In the wilderness, you get those cracks. You get those branches. See, that's the proof. That fell. There's wind, post-storm. You know, it rained, it was thunder Sunday. Some of them are fragile, vulnerable. Myself, sometimes I'm fragile, vulnerable. I cried, I suffered, I've been depressed, suicidal. Get that 50-50. I am androgynous, pansexual, got some scars. Scars even that itches on my private androgynous clit, dick, clit, genitalia. Get that 2-in-1, get that 50-50. I'm androgynous, you know, that's cycling. And I have a scar literally, it itches less and less now. I got from a priestess, some of that cream, and sometimes gets that rocket. Wow, miracle. Rocket. But now we're gonna discuss the DRT. What time it is? It's time for the DRT death refusion to you, brothers and sisters. I say this with utmost clarity, utmost sincerity, and utmost conviction that my theory, paradoxically, having suffered, struggled, acceptance, being neurodivergent and having Asperger's, and being that my obsessive interest is geopolitics, I can present a solution to the table in terms of where we are now with the public debt. We pay 46.5 billion in interest. I'm going to repeat. These are numbers you can check for yourself with Tiff Mackler. What are you going to have for lunch, Tiff Mackler? How much is going to cost? Who produced it? I don't know. It's not that big of a salary. Bank of Canada, Governor General. The important thing is that you're going to get a little bit of that XYZ. And I live a simple, austere, severe 21st century rainbow lifestyle, though. I get that black and white and rainbow love to anybody who wants, you know. Just ask. Consent and hygiene. I'm a bit obsessed about microbes, bacteria, germs, you know. Germs and bacteria, you know. I'm a bit obsessed. Germs, bacteria, bacteria and germs, and that's what it is with that. So we gotta get it for those branches, see? Those branches there fell, branches fell, and you get those branches which fell, and that's the falling of the branches right there, see? You don't want that anybody, any nearby, you know. Want to be prudent, cautious. When you get here, you gotta be prudent, cautious, and gotta get prudence and cautious. You gotta get some of that DRT, the debt refusion theory, for the creation of the UE, the universal exchange unit, you know. The UE, the universal exchange unit, you know. That's what it is with that. So, the universal exchange unit, the UE, the universal exchange unit. So I'm going to now explain it as simply as I can, because one of the symptoms of Asperger's is that we tend to use too much intellectual, cosmopolitan, philosophical, academic, and intellectual wise linguistics, which of course are not applicable in certain circumstances. It is better to simplify. So the simplification is, of course, I'm going to try to describe it, to explain it as simple as I can. The DRT, debt refusion theory, is the only solution. The motive behind me making that statement, of course, the motive behind me making that statement, is, of course, that we now pay 46.5 billion in interest. 46.5 billion in interest. 46.5 billion in interest. 46.5 billion, that's 46,000 million. 46,000 million. 46,000 million, that's how much it is. 46.5 billion in interest. Billion in interest. That's 46,000 million. That is 46,000 million we pay in interest on the Canadian public debt. My brothers and sisters, you can argue all you want. You can check the numbers for yourself. The point is, we pay 46.5 billion in interest. There's no other solution, paradoxically, but my DRT. D, debt, R, refusion, T for theory. My DRT, D, debt, R, refusion, T for theory. So D for debt, R for refusion, T for theory. My brothers and sisters, is the only solution. There's no other solution. Now where we are today, now where we are with the public financial situation of today. Today we pay 46.5 billion in interest, which is the equivalent of 46,000 million, which is the equivalent of 46,000 million, which is the equivalent of 46,000 million. A billion has 9 zeros. 46.5 billion debt servicing, in other words, just the interest we pay on the public debt, it's 46.5. There's no other way but the D debt R refusion T for theory, the DRT, the debt refusion theory. That is the only solution, brothers and sisters. The only solution, the D debt refusion theory for the creation of the UE. So I'm going to explain it. Keep in mind that my DRT theory also contains within it monetary integration theory. Monetary integration theory. What is monetary integration theory? It is exactly what was done in the European Union. The European Union, in Europe, they created in the 90s the ECB, a European Central Bank. The Germans destroyed their central bank, their old currency. The Italians also destroyed their old currency, the lira. The French also destroyed their old currencies. So many countries in Europe, they did the destruction of their old currencies. They did the destruction of their old currencies in the 90s. And they created the ECB, the European Central Bank, the ECB, the European Central Bank. In the 90s, they created it. So the ECB stands for European, C, Central, B, Bank. So that's what they did, of course, back then. In the 90s. In the 90s, you know. That's what it is for that. So we're gonna do the same. But my DRT theory contains monetary integration theory, which is exactly what was done in the European Union. You know, so that's what it is with that. And gotta be careful for them to get it on the XYZ. They're gonna go doing for the go, you know. So that's how we're gonna go on that for the go, you know. We're gonna take it by here. Let the children Let the children get it on the go. Let them get it on the go for that. Let them go on the that, you know. Gotta get it on the go. So they're there, I guess, accompanied by the fellow teacher, and we're gonna go on the up. 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 You know, we're gonna go on the up. We're gonna go on the up now. You know, and be careful on the rocks, because they tend to be slippery. You know. So when we go up, we gotta get it on the go now, you know? Gotta go get it on the go now. Gotta go get it on the go now, you know? They gotta go get it on the now, you know? So the DRT, death refusion theory. Be careful, ladies, the branches sometimes fall from above.
Okay. What sort of trees are they?
So you have to be careful. They're different trees. I'm not too sure about all the trees, but see those branches? Sometimes I toss them myself, and this is like my second home. I come here every week. So if you continue your journey, please be prudent.
We will. We're used to walking in.
Bye. Bye. I have to let people know. So the DRT, death refusion theory for the creation of the UE, is of course what needs to be done. And of course, if I go up, gotta be careful on the side here, you know. See those branches? Hello. Be careful, guys. Sometimes the branches fall. So if you stay in the forest, be careful, because sometimes I toss them around. See? So if you hear something,
Run.
just yeah.
Thank you.
Bye. You're welcome. Just run, man. Don't, you know, for their prudence, you know, because it's super important to be on the prudent side here when we go, you know. So that's what it is with that. So you gotta let people know, man. I gotta let people know, you know, that's what it is with them there. And I gotta look out for my fellow citizens who come from wherever country, tourists, learn some French, eat some French cuisine. And I'm gonna discuss the DRT, that refusion theory for the creation of the UE. So the only solution is the DRT. You can argue all you want, but the only solution is the DRT. The DRT. The death refusion theory for the creation of the UE. For the creation of the UE. You know, that's what we need to be doing. The DRT for the creation of the universal exchange unit. So now I'm going to discuss it as much as I can, and for the creation of the UE, the DRT, death refusion theory, for the creation of the UE. So we're going to take all the public, and this is the only solution. So listen to this. It more than doubled. In 2020-2021 fiscal year, it was 20.3 billion. 20.3 billion is 20,000. That's the amount it was before COVID. And I had COVID. I died during COVID. Nothing that I want to go back. It's like 20.3. That's the amount of billions it was. 20.3. 20.3. Gotta love the children. Gotta love our children, man. That's for the youth. So I gotta defend, you know. They gotta be defending. That's worth being armed and carrying weapons for. Carrying armed forces, no right, man. Children there, children of the kingdom, the empire, laying the foundations of the first kingdom. Empire, you know. For the kingdom, for my children, happy, joyous, on the go, hopping up and above, dancing is my favorite sport. DGA, dancing, goddess army. That's what it is to be doing, and they're on that go. They're happy, joyous, safe, secure. I'm happy. Coast to coast, ocean to ocean, North American Collective, unite. I love the youth, man. It's not all about money, eh? If they're happy, I'm happy. Me, you know, been depressed, financially stressed. Gonna hydrate a bit. Oh, yeah. Wow, a lot of people came today. So this is the main road, right? They go on the main road, man. They stay on the main road, but we go deep like that. We're gonna go deep. Actually, we're gonna go by the side like that. See? But see, that's the main road. So when you go deep inside the forest, you gotta know the trails, right? Because you gotta know the trails, how they round about. That's the trick, and wow, good for you. Tourists, wherever come, I love, because this is my second home, and I always love to see people coming here, going to the Belvedere, enjoying some coffee, enjoying some drinks, enjoying some XYZ. We gotta get it on the XYZ. We gotta go get it on the XYZ, and we gotta get it on the love, man, you know. Love our butchers, love our bakers, love our nurses, love our grocery store clerks. Love our butchers, love our bakers, love our nurses, love our nurses. Love our daycare workers, love our construction workers, love our public workers, love our bakers, you know. It's not all about money, and it's not all about fight. It's also love. We have to have complementary, balanced, you know. I understand force is required fire. We are North American big metropolis cities all the way. We got lots of work. We got brains and steel and muscle, yes. But it takes that pillow, takes that soft, you know. We cannot base all of our interactions, political, geopolitical, whatever, based on force, fire, strength. You have to have some goodness, and love and understanding, you know. The DRT is the only solution. The paradox therein is my curse of Asperger's. I can present to the table a blessing for you, a blessing for you, for us. A blessing, you know, a blessing in disguise, you know. Suffered, I've been ill, depressed, suicidal, chronically ill, and started working out fitness 7 years ago. I got out of fitness, and started my fitness journey 7 years ago, 2017, and I've been on the fitness journey ever since, you know. Ever since. Yeah, sometimes I'm moody. I wish I could afford some massage, but hey, what do I got in the backpack? I got a turkey. Thank you, turkey, being reincarnated. Thank you, turkey, be reincarnated. Thank you, turkey, be reincarnated. And here we get it on the go now, you know, as we go all the way up to get it on the down and to get it, you know, suffered, struggled, and the DRT is the solution. We pay 46.5 billion in interest. That's 46,000 in interest. Just debt servicing interest. You know. 46,000 million. 20.3, that's what it was. And 20.3 times 2, that's 40.6. 40.6. That would have been double. It's more than double. It's 46.5. Just the amount of interest. My brothers and sisters, you can argue all you want. There's no way out of this but my DRT, debt refusion theory, which includes, as I said, monetary integration theory. Monetary integration theory is exactly what was done in the European Union. So the Europeans, they got rid of their central bank. The Germans got rid of the Deutsche Bank. Italians, their currency, France, many countries in Europe. And they created in the 90s, but it started in the late after the Second World War, 50s, the monetary integration theory and economic integration theory. Both are interchangeable. Of course, they implemented decades ago. So they created a common bank, a common bank, a common bank. The ECB, the European Central Bank, the ECB, the European Central Bank. In the 90s to issue the euro, to issue a new currency. They destroyed the Germans, their old Deutschmark. The Italians, they destroyed our Italian currency. The French, they destroyed our old currency. They created a common central bank to issue a new currency. So my DRT also includes within it monetary integration theory, which is exactly what was done in the European Union, in the European Union. So my DRT, debt refusion theory, is the only solution. The motive behind my statement as a fact is that, of course, we pay 46.5 billion in interest. That's how much we paid, more than double due to COVID. I had COVID, it was like death, pestilence, and disease, like death, pestilence, and disease, like death, pestilence, and disease when I had it. Really, it sounds like a hardcore metal, death metal songs. I am death, pestilence, and disease for my enemies, please, on the knees. The sun's shining, I'd rather be kissing and not licking and I'm licking. I got pestilence, death, pestilence, and disease. I know it sounds like a rock, metal, dark 1980s, 90s, whatever, dark, heavy metal, you know. Like nuclear war, World War III metal, but that's how I felt, that's how I had it. When I had it, I was sick like that, but I survived it. And I'm here and I present the DRT paradoxically. It's a paradox. There's no solution but the D, debt, R, refusion, T for theory. You can argue all you want as I go up the mountain now, but the only solution is the debt, refusion theory. D for D, debt, R for refusion, T for theory. So that is the only solution. There's no other solution. Now with paying 46.5 billion in interest, which is 46,000 million, 46,000 million, 46,000 million, 46,000 million. That's what it is. That's what it is. That's what it is. There's the DRT, the D, debt, R, refusion, T for theory. The D, debt, R, refusion, T for theory. Debt, refusion theory. The debt, refusion theory. The debt, refusion theory. There's no other solution now with that much interest that we pay. So that is the motive behind my statement. I gotta look out for falling branches like this one, see? That's why I let people warn, because they can crack and there's lots of them here. Sometimes I toss them myself, as I have proof in the video. So the D, RT on the table, paradoxically, due to the fact that I have Asperger's, also known as high functioning autism. So I'm a HFA, I'm a high functioning autistic. I'm an ASPE, so obsessive interest. I got 3, the Trinity, and geopolitics is part of them. And when you study geopolitics, you got to study a little bit about public finance. Public finance, public finance, public finance, public finance, public finance, you know. Got to study a little bit of that public finance, public finance. So that's what it is. We got to study a little bit of public finance here, and public finance for that, and public finance, you know, it includes in the public finance, that's what it includes. The study and the knowing a little bit of public finance. When you study geopolitics, it's part of the greater geopolitical knowledge, and geopolitics is a vast universe comprising economics, finance, military interaction, diplomacy, geography, culture, linguistics, religion, spirituality, and of course production and architecture, even to a certain degree, whatever case may be, you know, defense, all these things. So geopolitics. If you study geopolitics, you know a little bit about public finance. So public finance, we now pay 46.5 billion in interest. That's the amount of interest Just the interest, just the interest, just the interest. Just the interest we pay on the debt. 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 So 46,000 million, that's it. You gotta get on that go, you know, there's no other way. But the DRT, the debt refusion theory for the creation of the UE, the Universal Exchange Unit. The Universal Exchange. So I'm gonna explain it. Keep in mind that my DRT, debt refusion theory, contains within it monetary integration theory. Monetary integration theory is exactly what the European Union did. So here it is, explained as simply as I can. It's one of the symptoms, of course, being too overly verbose in linguistics and comprehensive matter of linguistics, utilizing too many sophisticated phraseologies and phrases and components of paragraphs or sentences that cannot be explicative in a more simple manner. And aspies, we tend to overuse philosophical, academic, and more intellectual, sophisticated language. So DRT contains monetary integration theory. We're gonna take all the public and the private debt, my 10,000 as a citizen, to the RBC. So I got $10,000 in debt. $10,000 in debt. I got $10,000 in debt. $10,000 in debt. $10,000, you know. Coast to coast, coast to coast, coast to coast, all the debt. The public and the private debt. The public and the private debt. The public and the private debt. My 10,000, your 10,000. My 10,000, your 10,000. My 10,000, whatever the case may be. Whatever the case may be. So whatever the case may be, my 10,000, your 10,000, my 10,000. All of it, we're gonna add it all together. Add it all together. Add it all together. Add it all together. So all the debt, public and private, public and private, public and private. So my $10,000, yours coast to coast, ocean to ocean. So all the debt, we're gonna add it up due to the fact that the United States dollar still is the currency of choice for world trade, international business, global commerce, import export. We're gonna convert all the public and the private debt, including my 10,000, to the RBC, Royal Bank of Canada. As a private citizen, we're gonna convert it to United States dollars, 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 to the United States dollars, to the value of the US dollars, the US dollar value, the US dollar value, the US dollar value, the US dollar value, the value of the US dollar, you know, the value of the US dollar, of the United States dollar. So we're gonna do that conversion, and we're gonna create the UE. So all the public-private debt, all the public-private debt, all the public-private debt, coast to coast, ocean to ocean, coast to coast, ocean to ocean, coast to coast, ocean to ocean, you know. All the public and the private debt, 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 all the public and the private debt. We're gonna convert it all to US dollars, US dollars, my 10,000 included. So all of it added coast to coast, coast to coast, coast to coast. We're gonna add it with the United States dollar because, of course, it's for North America, for North America, for North America. Hello. Bonjour, je vous donne un petit mot d'avis. Si vous continuez dans la forêt, des fois, il y a des branches qui tombent, les arbres ne sont pas 100% en santé. Donc, pour votre sécurité, juste soyez avisés que des fois, ils peuvent craquer parce que moi-même, je vis souvent ici. Fait que je l'ai vécu que ça tombe, puis des fois, je les ramasse.
D'accord.
Soyez prudents.
Pas de soucis, merci.
Bye bye. Guy, if you continue in the forest, please be careful. The branches sometimes have a tendency to fall because of the trees are not that healthy. Okay. And sometimes I've experienced it myself. I come often here, so for your security, because I tossed them. See on the side all those branches?
Yeah.
Yeah, so sometimes they fell here and I take them because I come here 3 times a week, you know. So I live here basically, it's my second home.
So we
So
need a helmet for construction.
just be careful, guys. You hear something, you be ready to move fast, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Bye bye, be welcome.
Reflexes. Okay, thank you.
That's it, yeah.
So it's okay. It's good.
I live here almost, it's like my
So you
second
work in
home.
the Semi de la Montagne?
No, I actually am on my own.
But see what happens
So,
is
yeah.
all these people that there's so many trails, they always go in between, okay? But put some cameras, it's like rules, okay? If you put the cameras, it's at $1,000 fine. You put cameras everywhere, it's cheaper, and put all the fence. Because after you say the word spreads around, like all the rules are made for to wait. But if you put a big fine, it's like in Australia. I don't know if you know.
I've
That's
never
why-
been, this
No,
is
but-
North
but see
America
what happened? No,
myself.
no,
I
no,
live
me-
in North America, I'm not on
No,
Australia.
man, see myself in Australia. I'm talking about voting. Democracy in Quebec, democracy in Canada, in Europe. We lose it. Why? Because we have between 50 to 60% people voting. The other 45% don't vote. So when you
Yeah,
when
there's
Australia
the
did,
voting.
nobody was voting. Only about 27% were voting. What they did
Low
30,
percentage.
30 years ago, they put a $500 fine for not voting.
Wow.
Now it's 98% people
But that's
vote.
an ethical dilemma. That's an ethical question.
No, it's not ethical. Like, vote, they do electronically, like in Brazil.
But the
you put a
ethics
cross.
is to pay. That's the ethics. Because it's an ethical question if you're going to find somebody or not.
I see what happened in the right-wing regime, so super right and super left.
I'm a centrist.
Me
I'm
too,
a
me too.
centrist.
That's independent. But what they get in power with 30% of the vote. Once they're in, they like in Poland, in Hungary,
I don't know Poland. I don't know Hungary. I don't.
What they do, they get right.
I don't know what they do.
They appoint the government when the government appoints the
It's
judges.
not my business.
No, it's not business. But the
I'm
question,
North American,
yeah, but the question is,
coast to coast Canadian.
me too. Yeah, but the
I'm
question
not.
is,
It's not my business.
we're gonna lose democracy here too.
I
if
don't
we
know.
we don't watch it.
I know the island, and that's it.
No, I know me.
I know my
I've been living here
geopolitics.
63 years.
This
So
is my
I'm
home.
75.
I wish them well,
No,
but
but that's no. But what I'm telling you here is the best place to live in the world here, in this part of the world, northeast in Canada, here in the States.
yeah,
Because
I
we have
guess so.
the weather, we have 4 seasons, we have everything here. No wars, nothing. We accept people the way they are, and
know.
that's why I'm glad I live here. So I see everything in the world what's happening. It's a bunch of nonsense. We're lucky to live here.
I'm a geopolitical analyst. I know all the events. I know the,
Me too,
the
I know that,
ideologies,
but-
but I'm not.
But I'm saying to you, the reason why we lose that because everybody, not this, it's like in the old days, all the world is becoming with dictators, left or right dictatorships. And the trend is coming up.
the
And that's-
trend, yeah.
So, which means sooner or later, something's going to happen, you know? But I don't
It's
worry. I have 15 grandchildren, 4 kids, so I'm worried about the only thing I can do is change my family, work with my family, my good friends.
Yeah.
Then the rest, I talk about it, but I'm not really going crazy about it over it.
Yeah.
I just read the news, like an hour later, that's it.
This is my home here, you know. I know
me too.
here.
Yeah. And you have to keep it nice.
I mean, I know what it is. Outside, I watch the news. I'm a geopolitical analyst.
Mm-hmm.
But it was an ethical question whether to find people to vote, you know.
No.
It's a question
but
of
right not to
ethics.
vote, but I want to see your ex. I don't want to vote for anybody, but I want to see an ex.
Yeah.
Because it prevents people from with 30% of the vote to get in power.
You have to encourage people.
Yes.
Like I encourage people to work
but
out,
freely,
you know.
But democracy, if you don't work for it, you lose it. You lose it. That's why I like the Swiss thing. Everything is changed by referendums in Switzerland. Referendum means it's awkward, but in a referendum you have to have a majority. 30% is not good for you.
Well, the question of leadership is also something which is a question, you know.
Yeah. But
Leadership and authority, you know.
look at nowadays.
Authority, right? Because we're discussing authority fundamentally.
Yeah. But look at the States nowadays. Unless you're millionaires,
Mm.
multi-millionaire, or you're supported by billionaires, okay? You
Right.
cannot, because it runs forever in the States, okay? So
Yeah.
why they give you money to run? Because after you get elected, you have to do my bidding. And that's why I consider the States no longer to be a democracy. for per se. It's still not bad. And like I said, I had my mother's in the States. In the States, if you get sick, first of all, if you're upper middle class, whatever it is, not a multimillionaire, the top 1%.
What about
Through
solutions?
education,
Solution
basically make health care and education
Make
affordable.
healthcare what?
Affordable, like in
How?
Canada.
How?
Like paying more taxes, like we do.
Increasing taxation.
No, but not for me. What I would do, it's never happened in any part of the world. I would designate budget, okay, money. Say we need, let's say $5 billion for education, $10 billion for healthcare, so much for roads, right? And make them accountable of what they're doing with the money. Now everyone goes in general coffers, and money goes everywhere, but nobody knows where the money goes.
Well, somebody knows. Somebody knows. Somebody knows.
But it's for me. I
some
wouldn't
people
mind
know.
giving an extra $1,000 a year for healthcare if I know it goes for the nurses, doctor, for healthcare. Like now, I don't have a family doctor.
You can give donations.
I have at least one amount of money. I have no family doctor. I can't find a family doctor.
Good for you.
But in the Montreal region, we're missing outside Montreal is okay, but in Montreal we're missing doctor. But when I said Dr. Verdun, okay, so it's perfect bilingual. That they said she's sick like that. They go in sick because there's nobody to replace them because we're missing people here in the Montreal in Montreal itself.
So if you have money, why don't you finance it then?
I mean, I'm not having a lot of money. I have this woman to retire.
Because you're selfish.
My sons is.
You have a selfish side.
No, but I see a volunteer more. I'm going to go to Verdun. No.
You have a
I
selfish
Verdun.
side.
I leave money to the poor. I do the soup kitchens in Verdun. I support a family. So basically, I'm there. Like I say, I grew up poor. I mean, we had nothing. Okay.
I believe. Maybe.
So basically, what I'm doing alone is I support as much as I can, and give as much money as I can. The question is, a lot of people see a lot of rich people give money, a lot of millions and millions of dollars for other stuff. The question is, the system should function a bit better than it is, but especially for
Takes
healthcare and
public-private
education.
partnership.
Look, I had 4 kids. Okay, in Quebec, they all had 3 of them had scholarships, 1 not.
Good
but
for
in
you.
Quebec, the tuition fees are low enough that you can work 4 or 5 months and pay for it. The rest of the countries to go to Ontario, that 10,000, Alberta, 12,000. Then it's getting too expensive for a person that makes middle class. That makes you can't afford to send the kids to school. In the States, it's impossible. Even with a scholarship, you still pay $40,000 a year. So if you have 4 kids in the States, my wife would never be able to stay with my 4 kids when the kids were young. She would have to work at the expense of the family. So now in Europe, it's better. In the Scandinavian countries, you write exam.
I don't know.
It's free. It's free there, completely free. But you must write an exam to get in.
I don't know. What I know is I want to make life better here for Quebecers, Canadians.
That's what I'm trying.
Europe,
Me too.
Australia,
See, no, I don't go.
Atlantic is that way, Pacific is that way.
My kids.
It's my family here
They
with
would never
Quebec.
leave Quebec.
Bonjour.
No?
Faites attention, ma chère, parce que des fois dans la forêt, il y a les branches qui tombent. Je vous fais un avis parce que je viens souvent ici, des fois à cause des arbres, la santé des arbres. Soyez prudente, puis si vous attendez quelque chose, ça craque, bougez bien vite, OK?
Parfait.
Bonne journée à vous.
Dans quel sens faut que je bouge?
Ben, c'est ça. Parce que j'ai tasse.
De bon côté.
J'ai tasse moi-même, hein, j'ai tasse, puis j'ai vécu ça l'autre jour, là, c'est tombé. Ça, je vous fais un petit.
Non, je comprends.
Je comprends la montagne, puis c'est les branches.
Merci beaucoup.
Soyez prudente. Ciao.
So, la prochaine,
This is my home, baby.
I love it.
You go where you live where you want to live. Take care now. So, this is home, you know. I wish them well to whatever the fellow citizen mentioned. He mentioned he's well off, rich, you know. Hungary and Australia. I wish them well, but I want to make life better here for me, for all who live here with me, you know, who come to join me. My fellow auntie there, I spoke a little French. I advised her about the branches, and my fellow citizen there is well off. I didn't mention my Asperger's condition, but he has money, seems to be well off, you know, and I come here on the mountain, and Kira came here on the mountain with Dad, and that's why we're gonna get drilled with Dad, and This is all I really know, you know. I have blackouts of memory. I wake up depressed, suicidal, moldy place, live, started my fitness journey. We exercise, workout, train, exercise, and that's what it is with that. And he's senior citizen, he's gotta go his way, he's gotta go his way, he's gotta go his way, you know, he's gotta go his way. And he says he has money, so give to charity, you know. Me, I got kisses, you know, I got trillions of kisses, I got some push-ups, and you know, I don't fear money, I don't fear people with money, I don't fear. My Papa Crowley said, fear not that at all, and I refuse none, I refuse none. I refuse none, I refuse none. I refuse none, I refuse none. You know, so that's what it is with that, and that's what it is with that, that's what it is with that. So we gotta get, you know, I'm not totally selfless. I have my little turkey, my little piece of cheese, you know, so I like my bacon. I would like to give my anonymous friend a house, and if you're a millionaire, billionaire, I want to build 3. I want to build a forgotten goddess temple, forgotten goddess temple, forgotten goddess temple right here, forgotten goddess temple, you know, forgotten goddess temple, forgotten goddess temple, the forgotten goddess temple, the forgotten goddess temple right here with trillions of kisses, and gotta get it for those trillions of kisses, you know, so trillions of kisses, and we gotta get it, that XYZ, and gotta give it for that XYZ, and that's what it is with that. And build a forgotten goddess temple, house of the dragon right there in the back, and gotta give it for that drill. Here's my home, and in this life, in a parallel life, North Americans unite, and we can do better. I focus with solutions. I believe my DRT is the only solution. I'm back to the DRT, debt refusion theory, for the creation of the UE. We're gonna do the creation of the UE, the Universal Exchange Unit. The Universal Exchange Unit, we're gonna create it. The Universal Exchange Unit, we're gonna create, of course, the DRT. We're gonna take all the public-private debt, coast to coast. My debt, $10,000 included, $10,000 included. So all the debt, public and private, that's gonna be the initial money supply. The initial money supply, the initial money supply. Convert it to US dollars. We're gonna create a new central bank. Just like the ECB, the European Central, the North American Bank, with a new currency, with a new currency, with a new currency, with a new currency, with a new currency. And that currency is going to be based on the value of the US dollar, the UE. U dot universal E dot exchange unit, the UE, U dot universal E dot exchange unit, universal exchange unit. Universal exchange unit, universal exchange unit, the UE, the universal exchange unit. So all the debt, public and private debt, public and private debt, public and private debt, we're gonna of course create it and do it. So the universal exchange unit, universal exchange unit, the universal exchange unit, the universal exchange unit, the universal exchange unit, the universal exchange unit, was gonna create the UE, the UE. So all the debt, public and private, my 10,000, your coast to coast, all that money is gonna be the initial money supply for this new central bank. So my 10,000 euros, coast to coast, public and private debt, all, all the public private debt of Canada, coast to coast, converted to US dollars. We're gonna add it with the US, Haiti, Cuba. Cuba's a paradox. Jamaica. They're part of North America, but Canada first, Canada, US second, and then whoever else wills. North America third, and then BIS, Bank of International, Transatlantic, NATO, if they will, but North American centric. For the North American collective, North Americans unite is the call. Coast to coast, ocean to ocean, 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 coast to coast, ocean to ocean. All who come live with us. The great North American, the emergent civilizational complex, the emergent civilizational complex, and emerging civilizational complex, and emergent civilizational complex, and emergent civilizational complex. So all the debt, public and private, all the public and the private debt, all of it, all the public and the private debt. My 10,000, your 10,000, our 10,000, your 10,000, whatever the case may be, all the public and the private debt, we're gonna convert it all of it, you know, all the public and the private debt, all the public and the private debt. So we're gonna convert it, all the public and the private debt, all the public and the private debt. We're gonna convert it, you know, to US dollars. So all the debt, public and private, public and private. Oh, beautiful, beautiful. Look at these. Where this is where I will to build the forgotten goddess temple. This is a good omen. Look at that. Omen for the forgotten goddess temple. Omen for the forgotten goddess temple. Wow. Wow. It's an omen, man. Omen, 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 omen. With the yellow flowers that I love. Here, there's the concrete. Wow. And they have some water in it. These are probably edible. Oh, they're so soft. Oh, they're so soft. They're really soft. What? That's an omen. Omen goddess, omen goddess, omen goddess. Ain't no God without the goddess. The DRT is the only solution. D, debt, R, refusion, T theory. The debt refusion theory for the creation of the UE. D, debt, R, refusion, T for theory. Then we're gonna take all the public and the private debt, all the public and the private debt, my 10,500, your 10,500, our 10,500, all the debt, public and private, all the debt, public and private, all the debt, my 10,000 included, coast to coast, ocean to ocean. With all that money, we're gonna create a new central bank, a new central bank, a new central bank. All that money, we're gonna create a new central bank, a new central bank, North American Central Bank. So that money will be the initial money supply for this new central bank, and we're gonna create the UE, U dot universal E dot exchange unit, the universal exchange unit, the universal exchange unit, the U dot universal E dot exchange unit, the universal exchange unit. That's what I'm calling them. Astrologers, Cabrera, Scorpio, 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 Bill Gates of Blackhawk, BlackRock, Blackstone, Larry Fink, another Scorpio, Joe Biden, another Scorpio. You could be with Sagittarius, 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 Leo, Pisces, all the astrological signs put together, you know, all the astrological signs put together. Basically takes a public-private partnership. We're going to create the UE. With that money, we're going to be able to rebuild the infrastructure of the collective North American civilizational complex, rebuild the infrastructure, finance citizens to work out, train, exercise, mass finance, of course, the building of hydroelectric dams, mass finance, tourism, mass finance, of course, citizens, fitness, mass finance, of course, the building of the two complementary covenant and cooperative institutions, mass finance, of course, the building of the cooperative institutions for the XYZ, and mass finance, the building of tunnels, the building of tunnels and whatever have you. So here, with your help, the universal exchange, the DRT, is the only solution. There's no other solution but the universal exchange unit. And here, with your help, we're gonna build the forgotten goddess temple and the house of the dragon. House of the dragon right there. See? The house of the dragon. Here we're gonna be able to build it right here. We're gonna be able to build it. Forgotten goddess temple right there, and the house of the dragon right there. The house of the dragon right there, right there. The house of the dragon and the house of the dragon. We're gonna be able to build it right there. House of the dragon. In the back, forgotten goddess temple. I said that omen is, and that's it. With that, we're gonna go say hello to the city. Switch to that French because we're in La Belle Province, and that's gonna do a little bit of squats, a little bit of push-ups, a little bit of, not push-up squats, but a little bit of twisting of those hips a little bit, because it's getting on that heavy side. It's noon. What a noon sun at. Like my Papa Crowley buried me in New Jersey, a third of me here on the mountain, a third of me in New Jersey, in Hamden, a third of me by the city of the pyramids. Gotta get it by the city of the pyramids, and they're there doing some exercise, and they're there for that, and they got their, well, here's my family, North American family. Pledge your allegiance, allegiance, thou art family. Pledge your allegiance, allegiance, thou art family. And pledge your allegiance, allegiance, thou art family. Here from the mountain, only friends with benefits. Pledge your allegiance, allegiance, friends with benefits. Pledge your allegiance, allegiance, friends with benefits. Pledge your allegiance, allegiance, friends with benefits. And I'm joyous, 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 joyous. Financially stressed, financially stressed, financially stressed, financially stressed, financially stressed, but gotta get my gratitude, man. Grateful, thankful, rent paid, electricity bills paid. You saw at the beginning of the video, got that turkey in the backpack, got that turkey in the backpack, got that turkey in the backpack, which I'm gonna cook. It's noon, so I got plenty of time to get back by 3:58, 4 latest. I wanna get back by 3. I want to get back by 3, so I got 3 hours left, and this is an hour left on the video. We're gonna switch it to that French because we're in La Belle Province. Again, the DRT stands for Debt Refusion Theory is the only solution. Help build the 3 buildings. Forgotten Goddess Temple right there in the back where you saw those flowers, and of course where you got those flowers there, and Forgotten Goddess Temple with the House of the Dragon. That's where I will to build with that, and that's where I will to build with that, and to build the Rainbow People's Palace, the 3 buildings, construction workers, DRT, Debt Refusion Theory, contains monetary integration theory for the creation of the UE, Universal Exchange Unit, UDOT. With that money, we're going to set an interest rate level of 10% maximum. 10% maximum. Hello. Salut. Ça va bien? Ça va bien? English. Guys, be careful. Please be prudent when you go inside. If you keep venturing in the forest, there's a tendency of the branches to fall because the health of the trees is not exact. And I live here, well, it's my second home, and I come often. And see those branches? See, sometimes I toss them from the side, and I live myself that they fell close to me. So if you do venture in the forest, keep that in mind. And if you hear something, ready to move fast and just be careful, basically. Bye, 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 bye. Be careful, because the branches fall. So we gotta put a sign here, but there's no sign. And this is like my second home, and I gotta let people know there's branches falling on these people's heads, and it fell next to me. I got it on camera. It felt like it fell far, but not that far, 44 yards, I would say. So super important to let people know, because there's no indication, and the branches, you never know. I witness it almost every week when I come. I witness it. It's not close, but I see, I hear, and then I turn my head, I see it. So sometimes I toss. I got that video where just in one day, I tossed like 3 branches. Five, like 5 branches on just one video. So I tossed to myself, so the DRT, debt refusion theory, is the only solution, the D, debt, R, refusion, T for theory, the debt refusion theory, the debt refusion theory, the debt refusion theory for the creation of the UE, the Universal Exchange Unit. That is the only solution, the debt refusion theory. D, it contains monetary integration theory. That is the only one solution. There's no other solution. You can argue all you want, left, right, and center, but my brothers and sisters, that is the only one and only solution. So, as much as you want to argue, that you cannot argue. That is the only solution. We pay 46.5 billion in interest. It more than doubled. Paying the interest more than doubled. In 3 years, just the interest from 20.3 in 2020, 2021 to 46.5. Can you imagine the amount? What's that? Oh, that's a little bit of a thunder there. It's got a little bit of that thunder, so it's not really thunder, but it's noise. So we gotta get it on the drill, and I'm looking what they're doing a bit, and salute public workers, rock and roll public workers. Thank you. And I gotta pull my own pants now down because they gotta get it on the pants now down, and that's why we gotta get it on the love, man. Love. DRT, debt refusion theory for the creation of the UE. You want love? Loving I got. Money I don't. Financial stress, but kisses by the trillions of kisses. I can kiss over time, just like I work out over time, as I can dance over time, as I can do geopolitical analysis over time, as I can rock and roll over time. That's what it is. And gotta check if I get, it's closed, that one. That one's closed. My gosh, my belt popped off. Popped off. We gotta get it, back it in, pop. That's Hey, the children are happy. I'm happy, man. They gotta get it for the masters. For the teachers, for the butchers, for the bakers, gotta get it for the bakers. They're gonna do some fun, man. Fun for you. I love it, and I see physical activity is important to cultivate physical fitness, man. Physical fitness. Physical fitness, man. Dancing is my favorite sport, but I love it when you're getting on the fitness, man. When you're getting on the fitness, that's why I like to see them fit and fitness and engaging in physical activities and yeah. DRT is the only solution. My fellow citizens, they're coming from places of the world, and whatever the case may be, whatever the case may be, man. I want to tell them that there's a poem there, poetry there, poetry there, poetry there, and we gotta get it to the XYZ and touche, you know. This is home, man. Mountain is my home here. Montreal, Hakata, North America, for world peace, international, universal. Des affaires mères, rocher dans une clairière simulée. So, home in this life, in the past life, I believe in reincarnation, so I'm a bit on that side, you know. I'm a bit on that side with reincarnations, you know, and we gotta get it on the reincarnations, and they always gotta get it on the drill, and I always meditate. Public workers, butchers, bakers now. How many, since I started this video, throughout North America, how many diapers were changed in the daycares? Gotta get that protocol, Mr. Citizen Brother Bill Blair, you know. Gotta get that Dragon Army. So DRT, debt refusion, we're gonna create the UE, we're gonna freeze the price, and we're gonna set an interest rate level of 10% maximum. 10% maximum, 10% maximum. Oh, it's closed here. Is it? Can I go by the side? Oh yeah. I cannot go by the side. We closed on that side. Let's see. It's gonna go by that side, so it's closed anyways. So the DRT for the creation of the UE. You know, so that's what it is with that, and that's what it is for the creation of the UE. The only solution, we're going to take all the public and the private debt. We're going to create the universal exchange unit. Universal exchange unit, the UE. U dot universal, E dot exchange unit. The universal exchange unit, the universal exchange unit. U dot universal, E dot exchange unit, the universal exchange unit. The UE, the UE, the UE. The universal exchange unit. That's the only solution, the universal exchange unit. We're going to set an interest rate level of 10%. 10%, 10%, 10%, 10%. Below it could be 3.33, 7.18, 4.18, 6.1, 9.3. Below 10% after that. So after we implement the DRT, debt refusion theory, which includes monetary integration theory, we establish a central bank. All the money, all the public-private debt is going to be all the money in circulation. All the public-private debt is going to be all the money in circulation. All the public-private debt is going to be the money in circulation. All the money in circulation is going to be all the public and the private debt. All the money in circulation is going to be all the public and the private debt. That's going to be the new money in circulation. All the public and the private debt is going to be the money. All the public private debt is going to be the money in circulation. All the public, the private debt is going to be the money in circulation. So all that money is gonna be all the money supply, all the money circulation is gonna be all the money supply, all the DRT. So that's what it is, the DRT, debt refusion theory for the creation of the UE, you know. for the creation of the UE. That's what it is with that, man. The creation of the Universal Exchange Unit for the creation of the UE. So all the debt, public and private debt, is gonna be all the public and the private debt. It's gonna be all the private and the public debt. So all the debt, public and the private debt, it's gonna be on the XYZ, and beautiful children there, beautiful people here and there. And gotta give a shout out for the public workers who established this one. Look at that, man. Look at that. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Montreal City. Hakala Montreal, Hakala Montreal, Hakala Montreal, Hakala Montreal. Children are happy, I'm happy. They're gonna do a little bit of dancing. And you know, that's what it is. And DRT here on the mountain, you know. Gotta get it for the lovers and the butchers, and gotta get it for the love, you know. Hakala Montreal, my home in this life and in a part of life. Hakala Montreal. Montreal, Hakala, get that DRT, get that DRT, get that DRT. For the creation of the you.
Je prends mon temps.
Hakala Montreal, the DRT, we're gonna set an interest rate of about 10%, and I'm just gonna go by the side, check my favorite skyscraper, and then switch to that French because we're in La Belle Province, you know. Et voilà. What is it? Somebody marked love here. Evolve, love, that's good. Love and rainbow love, gotta get it for that love, man. Love, evolve. Love? Oh, it's spelled backwards. Love, evolve. Somebody hugging there, that gives me hope, man. And gotta get it for the go. See, that's the favorite skyscraper, and now we're gonna get it on the go. Gonna get that hydration French, ready for that French français. Et voilà, on est sur la montagne. C'est les travailleurs publics. C'est vraiment beau, je trouve ça. C'est vraiment beau, je trouve ça. Ça, c'est vraiment beau ici. De belles couleurs. Et des belles couleurs, des belles couleurs, des belles couleurs, des belles couleurs. Des belles couleurs. Qui sont belles couleurs pour les faire, pour sur la montagne. Pas de danse, de la danse, je peux danser pendant des heures. Je peux danser pendant des heures. Et voilà, les fleurs jaunes. C'est important. Je rentre dans la montagne pour y aller pour les fleurs jaunes qui sont là. Elles sont belles, hein? What? Merci à ceux qui l'ont fait. Merci à ceux qui l'ont fait. Merci à ceux qui l'ont fait. Pour le travail public, puis on va s'hydrater, puis on rentre dans la montagne pour en faire du travail. Pour que ça fasse bien sûr. Pour de l'entraînement physique. Et voilà, on y va, bien sûr. Pour vous faire le plaisir. Avec de l'eau potable, merci les travailleurs publics et du 25 qui l'ont bâti. Regarde. Et voilà. On y va.
Regarde, je peux utiliser pour...
Et voilà pour une dans la forêt. Les enfants joyeux, joviels, ça danse en transe. Si les enfants sont contents, je suis content. J'aimerais tellement ça peinturer. Oh, oh, oh. J'aimerais tellement. Oh, hey, ça a du nouveau. C'est des nouvelles tables, regarde. C'est des nouvelles, là? Oh, ouais. Je pense que oui, hey, ça a besoin de couleur, mais je pense que finalement, après 44 ans et plus, ça a fait, bien sûr, ça l'a fait. Puis les enfants joyeux, joyeux, et moi aussi, avec les aînés aussi, les aînés aussi, et bien sûr les aînés aussi, qui sont là. Et je dois dire, j'avertis les gens quand ils rentrent dans la forêt, pour rentrer dans la forêt, dans la forêt, bien sûr, qu'ils fassent attention, bien sûr, qu'ils fassent attention, car les branches tombent, bien sûr, d'en haut. Fait que c'est important que les faire avertir les gens qui vont voir des branches qui tombent comme ça. Et ça va faire, bien sûr, des branches tombantes. Faut regarder en haut, puis les faire, faut regarder en haut, puis les voir, faut regarder en haut, puis les regarder, puis les voir, puis les faire, puis les faire l'embellissement. Et ici, regardez. Oh, il fait froid aujourd'hui, un peu fret, mais j'ai la dinde. Je m'en vais cuisiner la dinde. Je vais être de retour chez nous avant 3 heures. Et donc, par contre, j'ai le goût de prendre un autre café, mais je suis stressé, serré financièrement. Je vis un stress financier en ce moment, mais en vivant un stress financier, je dois dire ma gratitude. Jovial, mais je vis avec la gratitude. Gratitude de mon loyer payé, ma facture d'exté payée, j'ai du café du thé, puis j'ai du rock'n'roll, j'ai des bisous, des câlins, puis de la comédie, puis je suis HP, j'ai l'âge progressif de l'autisme hautement fonctionnel. Le autisme UHF, AHF, je suis HF, c'est-à-dire que j'ai des intérêts obsessifs, puis ma trinité, d'intérêts obsessifs, c'est la géopolitique, le rock'n'roll, et bien sûr, l'analyse en géopolitique avec le sport, la danse. La danse est mon sport préféré, et je vais vous discuter de la TRD. Et ici, il faut être prudent parce qu'il y a des branches qui tombent d'en haut à cause des arbres. Ne sont pas si claires. Et il faut voir attention ici, vous voyez les branches qui tombent. Fait que il faut être prudent si vous vous aventurez dans la forêt, parce que vous avez vu qu'on était, c'est le chemin principal, puis ici c'est comme chez nous. Fait que j'en ai vécu moi-même l'expérience, là, ces branches qui tombent, j'en ai tassé des branches de sur le chemin. Il faut que j'avertisse. Bonjour! Parlez-vous français? Faut que je vous avise, si vous continuez profondément dans la forêt, il y a une sécurité, puis des fois, à cause des arbres ne sont pas si en santé, il y a des branches qui tombent.
Ah, ok.
Moi, j'en ai vécu moi-même, c'est tombé, puis des fois, j'ai tasse, vous voyez, toutes les branches-là, tout ça là, tout ça, ça tombe d'en haut.
Ok.
Fait que pour votre sécurité, si vous entendez quelque chose, soyez prudent, soyez prêt à bouger vite.
Ok, ça marche.
C'est tout que je vais à dire.
Merci.
Bye, bonne journée!
Par la croix, là? Ou pas les points?
Il y a plusieurs chemins par la croix, ça dépend lequel que vous allez. Celle-là, c'est plus profond dans la forêt, si ça vous voulez. Il y a 2 chemins pour aller à la croix ici.
Ouais.
Vous voulez y aller par la forêt ou?
Plutôt par la forêt, ouais.
Ok, je vous guide. Quel coin?
Bah, la grosse croix?
Ouais, la grosse coin, là, je dis, vous êtes de quel coin?
Ah, pardon, on est de Paris.
Ah, ok. Vous voyez ces branches-là, mes chers?
Ah oui.
Tout ça, là, c'est moi qui l'ai tassé là, je pense que c'est moi qui l'ai tassé. Ou celle-là, là. C'est pour ça, comme ceux-là ici, vous voyez ça?
Ok.
C'est pour ça que je vous dis, parce que je veux pas que ça tombe sur vous, là. Vous êtes dans la forêt, là. Comme celle-là, vous voyez celle-là, là?
Ouais.
Hey, je veux pas que ça tombe, c'est pour ça que je vous ai dit, là. C'est parce qu'ils sont pas en santé, puis après la pluie, ça tombe. Des fois, je ramasse ici, fait qu'imaginez-vous que quelqu'un va, puis ça tombe. Là.
C'est volontaire ou vous travaillez ici?
Mais ici, c'est comme ma deuxième maison. Là.
Ok.
Je viens danser, je viens faire la méditation, puis... Vous, premier jour, belle province, Québec vous amène le vent.
On a un ami qui habite à Sherbrooke.
Ok.
Et du coup, on profite un peu d'ici avant d'aller la semaine prochaine.
Ok. Et tant mieux. Vous voyez ces branches-là aussi. Celles-là sont plus dangereuses. Celle-là, c'est moi qui l'ai tassée. Puis j'imaginais, tu sais, quelqu'un qui passe, là. Toutes ces branches-là, là. Puis j'en ai vécu moi-même. C'est tombé pas proche, là. C'est tombé comme à 11 mètres de moi-même. Mais je dis, wow, tu sais. La croix, je vous guide, c'est ça?
Oui.
Par ici? Oui.
C'est par là à droite.
C'est à droite, vous allez comme ça. Et vous allez, vous pouvez aller par là aussi.
Ouais.
Mais si vous voulez dans la forêt, là, je vous guide par ici. Comme ça, vous allez... Vous savez qu'il y a une capsule de temps aussi?
Ah bon?
Ouais. Il y a une capsule de temps. Première capsule de temps proche de la croix. Ouais. Et vous voyez ici, il y a des arbres qui sont plantés. Tu sais. On plante. Ceux qui ont des rubans bleus, là. Ouais. On essaie de planter, puis tout ça, pour faire du renouveau, de la forêt au milieu de la métropole.
Ouais.
De la France, promettez-moi que vous allez manger juste du fromage du Québec puis du vin du Québec. Hein? Vous me promettez, s'il vous plaît? Hein?
On va goûter.
Je veux pas que vous achetez du vin de la France, là. Ni du fromage de la France tant que vous êtes ici. Vous allez essayer, promis?
Pour l'instant, on fait que les micros.
Ok, merci. Non, je vous en prie, parce que là, vous êtes au Québec, là, méchant. Là.
Ah oui, non, on a
Le vin, on en a du vin, nous aussi, du vin et du fromage, là. Fait que je vous demande ça par cœur, là, s'il vous plaît. Là. Parce que les Québécois, je pense qu'on achète quand même beaucoup de vin français et du fromage français. Fait que faites un effort, s'il vous plaît.
Pas de soucis.
Et voilà. Donc, où que vous voulez aller, vous êtes correct sur les jambes?
Ça va.
Ça va? Moi, je suis habitué ici, c'est comme chez nous. Hein, fait comme ma deuxième maison ici. Fait que...
Toi, tu viens d'ici, de Montréal?
Oui, de Montréal, l'île de Montréal. Là. Nord-américain, québécois, canadien, dragon arc-en-ciel à votre service. Et je vous guide, s'il est encore là, je sais pas. Hier il était là, avant-hier il était là, mais.
Ça devrait un mec balèze pour tirer une minute.
Et je vous montre la capsule et je retourne après ça dans le côté sauvage. Vous savez, c'est une montagne, hein?
Ouais.
Puis vous savez, c'est une île, hein, Montréal?
Ouais.
OK. Il y en a qui ne savent pas, c'est pour ça que je leur demande. L'autre fois, les Allemands, ils ont dit, ah oui, we're on an island. Je dis, yeah, you're on an island here. Je dis, oh non, yeah, it's an island. Et voilà, Michel. La croix. Elle est là. Donc, il y a plusieurs chemins pour se rendre. On aurait pu faire le tour ou par le chemin principal, mais ça, c'est un beau chemin, je pense.
Ouais, c'est bien.
Et voilà. Ça, c'est supposément Jacques Cartier qui était venu ici. C'est sûr que c'est des mythes ou des légendes. Là. Qu'est-ce qui est vrai, qu'est-ce qui n'est pas vrai, là, aussi de l'histoire. Là. Mais supposément en 1535, il est venu, puis a planté un drapeau du roi Louis. Et voilà. Et là-bas, il y a une capsule où vous voyez les gens. Une capsule de temps qui va être ouverte en 1140 quelque. C'est les jeunes des années 90 qui ont mis une capsule de temps ici.
Ok.
Fait que je vous montre, puis je retourne. Et voilà. Ici, la capsule de temps. Et voilà.
Ah bah c'est dans pas longtemps. Hein.
Bon, je vous laisse avec ça, mes chers.
Merci beaucoup.
Ça fait plaisir. Puis
Bonne
c'était
journée.
quoi que vous m'avez promis?
De manger.
De manger québécois.
Québécois.
Et de boire aussi québécois.
Du vin québécois.
Pas de vin et pas de fromage français.
S'il vous plaît.
Non.
Je vous en tiens. Hein? Ciao, ciao. Amour et santé à vous. Ciao, ciao. Le vin du Québec. Du fromage, man. On rentre dans la forêt. Hein? En train de chanter, puis ça, ben, je veux que ça soit peinturé en arc-en-ciel, bien sûr. Fait que vous faites qu'est-ce que vous voudrez. Le lot de la télém, télém. Et bien sûr, la télém, c'est dans la l'île de la télém. Avec la gratitude pour en faire ben des plaines. Sur les plantations en arc-en-ciel. Si vous voulez faire l'amour, on fait l'amour. Et regarde la tonnerre, coup de grâce, coup de ciel, coup de foudre de la boue. Eh bien, ça me fait plaisir. Ça me fait vraiment plaisir du monde qui vient, puis je ne leur ai pas demandé s'ils sont en couple. J'ai oublié de dire, ben, j'ai l'Asperger's, fait que... Mais j'ai pas dévié dans la géopolitique quand même, parce que, vous savez, les aspects, j'ai des intérêts obsessifs, puis c'est la géopolitique, la danse, l'entraînement physique, puis c'est la géopolitique, bien sûr, que moi-même, il faut que je fasse de la géopolitique, que j'ai prévu le mois d'octobre, c'est le mois de la géopolitique chez nous, hein. Fait que c'est ça que je fais, puis là, je retourne chez nous, fait que, bon, on va faire de retour à ma grotte, parce que j'ai une dinde. Merci pour le don de la dinde, puis encore une fois, gratitude, j'ai payé mon loyer, j'ai payé ma facture d'exté, puis j'ai du café du thé, puis j'ai ces bottes, je vends 1 million 50%, donner 50%, mais je vis un stress financier, mais je suis ouvert pour les affaires, puis c'est ça que je vis. Si je fais 1 million, je donne la moitié, 50% à ma soeur anonyme. Ma soeur anonyme, mon ami anonyme, ben, je vais demander encore un mariage ouvert, puis ici, il faut que je fasse attention, que je glisse, hop! Je pensais, j'entendais que ça craque aussi. Vous voyez des branches partout, hein? Ça tombe, là. Ceux-là, ouais, regardez ça, sont en train de tomber, ceux-là. Puis celle-là est tombée, là. Celle-là, j'en vois, puis j'en connais parce que je viens au moins 3 fois semaine. Fait que je connais quand il y a des nouvelles, ça veut dire que ceux-là, ils ont été tassés par d'autres gens. C'est pour ça que j'avertis les gens. Ils s'aventurent dans la forêt, c'est bien beau, mais soyez prudents, mes chers, ça niaise pas. Ça peut tomber sur vous autres, ces branches-là, là, les branches, ça tombe sur vous autres, là. Comme ceux-là, ça tombe sur vous ici. Ça tombe sur vous ici. Fait qu'il faut le faire ici, il faut le faire ici. Puis c'est chez nous ici. La montagne, c'est chez nous. C'est les gens qui viennent, j'essaie d'être traité comme qui je veux que moi-même je sois traité avec bienveillance, avec des choses comme ça. Même si on a des différences, moi en tant que neurodivergent, c'est sûr que je peux paraître comme une abomination, mais abomination, je l'ai dit 5 fois, là, mais tant que gars androgyne, pansexuel, puis aspi, mais je laisse ça de côté quand je parle de la géopolitique, parce que je suis un maître de la géopolitique, puis je célèbre 5 ans depuis que j'ai prédit qu'est-ce qui se passe maintenant d'une manière générale, pas à chaque détail. J'avais prévu une conflagration internationale, et bien sûr de dire que mes initiatives sont pour le collectif de l'Amérique du Nord. Puis pour tous ceux qui viennent nous rejoindre, des fois, il faut laisser de côté d'autres considérations, là. D'autres considérations, il faut avoir un point éthique, moral, puis de traiter les gens avec bienveillance, puis la violence, l'agression, c'est important de faire de l'exercice physique, mes chers. Faites de l'exercice physique, mes chers. C'est pas facile, des fois, maîtriser l'agression, la violence, mais faites de l'exercice physique. Moi, je joue la défense, tu sais, du point de vue défensif. Tu sais, c'est des choses que moi-même je vis. Tu sais, regardez ça, c'est des choses que moi-même je vis, tu sais. C'est des choses que moi-même je vis, regardez ça. C'est des choses que moi-même je vis. Il y a des branches qui tombent, je sais pas. Il y a des branches qui tombent, des branches qui sont là, ou des branches qui sont ici, des branches qui sont partout un peu. Fait qu'il faut que je fasse attention pour pas que ça brise, pas que ça touche, pas que ça vaille. Et bien sûr, c'est des choses que moi-même j'en ai, tu sais. C'est des choses que moi-même je vis avec, tu sais. C'est des choses que je vis avec. Je vis ici, je vis là. Mais c'est des choses qu'il faut que je vis, tu sais. C'est des choses qu'il faut que je vise, mais c'est des choses qu'il faut que je voie moi-même. Faut que je maîtrise ces choses-là. J'en ai moi aussi, j'étais en dépression, j'étais suicidaire, j'ai tracé 40 ans de côte à côte. Ça a fait sortir la dépression. Quand je vois des couples, ça me donne l'espoir, tu sais. Ici, avec votre aide, je veux bâtir le temple de la déesse oubliée. puis la maison du dragon. Il faut que je leur dise des branches pour pas qu'ils s'aventurent trop. Bonjour. How are you guys? I'll have to let you a little bit of an advisory from somebody who's his second home here. If you go in the forest, be advised that sometimes due to the health of the trees, sometimes the branches fall, and I've experienced it myself. You see the branches?
Yep.
I tossed them over. So I tossed them, and I witnessed it a few times that they fell. They didn't fall on me, but they were close. So
That's always
Made
no
a
fun.
heart attack. Yeah.
if you guys do keep going in the forest and you venture here, just be prudent, cautious, and think about the possibility of the falling branches. So if you hear a noise, be ready to look up and move. And move.
Okay.
All right.
This is the way to the summit.
Well, here's kind of a summit. Depends. There's different summits where you want to go to gaze east, west, north, south. You guys were at the Belvedere. Where are you guys coming from?
We just came up the stairs.
Did you see the city?
Yeah.
Oh, you saw the chalet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, because that's you got to see that.
Yeah.
So you saw the city, you saw the mountain, you saw the downtown.
Yeah.
You can see another piece right here. I can guide you. I can guide you, then I'll depart, because with me you're kind of on the safe side if you want to see the city. And there, I don't know if you want to see a cross. There's lots of places, you can see the city. I can show you so many, but
Yeah, it's all right. You're all good.
there's lots, It's a big mountain,
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Where are you guys from?
Utah.
Utah! How's that jazz over there?
We do have mountains though.
Oh yeah, that's nice. Please guys, only French Quebec cuisine while you're here. Special request from this Quebecer North American who was born 3 times in the USA in past lives. That's the request I have of all who come here.
Yeah.
Please, only Quebec cheese, Quebec wine, Quebec beer, Quebec sausages.
We've had the cheese and the wine.
Yeah.
And the cheese. And we've had the sausage. But
Please guys, I don't want you to buy and eat any. Just buy local, please.
I don't
Try
do
everything. Okay.
I don't do chains. I try and find food.
I
Right.
like local, yeah. I
Local.
like buying local.
Please.
I'm good with that.
So here you're gonna see another view, and I'm gonna show you the city where you remember the Olympics, 1976
Oh, yeah.
Olympics.
We
So-
were there yesterday. Went to
What?
the Botanic Garden.
Oh yeah. All the way from Utah. That's great. You guys, how's your French? How's your French?
No, none.
French class in
Gotta get
sixth
it.
grade. My teacher quit halfway through the year, and that was my last French class.
Well, now's your opportunity to engage. To engage what's left of of that French, because one thing I gotta tell you guys when you're here, you know that all the electricity comes from hydroelectric dams.
Yep.
Okay, you guys know, eh?
Yeah, no, I've kayaked up there.
A lot of people don't know, so I'm always excited to let tourists know when they come from Germany the other day.
Yeah,
All of it, it's clean.
yeah.
Does not pollute at all.
Yep. No, I went up to Jonquière. Oh, no, it's just where I work. Same.
See the branches, guys?
Bigger.
That's why I told you. I don't want. That's why I let people know, like these ones. See, look at that.
Yep.
So you don't want that falling on you.
No.
And since I know the forest, because I kind of live here, then I let people know. See that big one there? So what? You gotta get it on the go, you know? So.
End up,
Are you okay? Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
The pace, yeah?
my work is ski patrol and avalanche patrol. So
Oh yeah.
lots of time out in the mountains in bad weather. I'm sometimes debating which I would want to deal with first. The tree that's wobbling too much or the snow.
I wish we would have a North American emergency citizen integrated response units, because I would have wanted to go to North Carolina to help out.
Oh,
I would have liked to go
there's
help
something
out.
similar to that.
See, right here. So you go on the side.
You have a wealth that's getting himself out.
I would have loved to be there.
But I have a friend who has a dog, that's a cadaver dog, and they do have an international rescue recovery thing that he's part of.
I would have liked to be on the field to help out, give some muscle there. In North Carolina, the floods, you know.
Oh yeah.
I would have, but we need to work on that because we have NORAD. You know NORAD.
Yeah.
So I think we now, with everything that's going on with more mega storms, I think we should integrate North American civilizational complex.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. I mean, there are similar.
Because I mean, we got two oceans, eh?
Yep.
And we got each other at the end of the day. If I don't know, nuclear war is possible nowadays, hey,
It is.
in the Russia over there. So I always say I'm Quebecer, Canadian, North American. As much as I can be international, I never lived elsewhere. I wish them well, but you know, gotta have your backs here. So here it is, guys. And there is some French poetry. It's a secret of the mountain, French poetry, and that's the other mountain. And so now if you go on that side, if you continue going that side, you're gonna have more stations like this. So I'll part ways with you Utah fellas, and
Appreciate it.
please, only Quebec beer, only Quebec wine. Local. Love you guys.
Thank you.
Stay safe. Gotta get it on the go. Et on est de retour, ça vient d'Utah, puis you're welcome. Ils viennent d'Utah, puis get us from the thank you. I guided them, of course, to get it on the go with that, and gotta get it on the go. Puis bien sûr, c'est important, bien sûr, de voir, bien sûr, de voir puis de savoir, bien sûr, qui sont ici. Puis ils viennent de l'Utah, puis ils viennent manger avec nous des produits du Québec. Puis bien sûr, je leur dis toujours de manger des produits du Québec. Des produits du Québec. Ben, je n'ai pas dit j'ai l'Asperger's, mais j'aurais dû dire c'est ça le problème, parce que je pense que penser que je peut-être souffre d'une maladie mentale, mais c'est pas ça l'Asperger, c'est l'autisme monofonctionnel. Ça fait que j'ai des intérêts obsessifs. Puis j'ai tendance à placoter quand même, puis parler sur les autres. Fait que c'est des symptômes qu'il faut que je fasse la gestion. Les aspis, il faut qu'on gère les symptômes. 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 Ben, je fais la gestion des symptômes. S'il vous plaît, jetez pas ça ici. Mettez ça dans les vidanges, là, en recyclage. Là. Je comprends, vous mangez du thé, mais c'est bon, mangez, buvez, mais mettez ça dans les vidanges, là, en recyclage. Jetez pas ça là, pour les écureuils, puis pour les lapins, puis pour d'autres aliments qu'on a ici, là. C'est juste faites attention, s'il vous plaît, là. Voyons, là. Faites pas ça de même, s'il vous plaît, là. Faites pas ça de même, là. Laissez pas ça dans la forêt, s'il vous plaît. En tout cas, fait que là, il faut que je discute la TRD, mais ça m'excite toujours. Comme ça m'excite, c'est bon, on a besoin des touristes, puis qui viennent, qui dansent, qui mangent, mais je leur demande toujours la même chose. Je leur fais promettre qu'ils vont manger, boire juste des produits du Québec, mais parce qu'on a des bons produits, là. On aime des bons produits, tu sais. Fait que c'est ça, on a des bons produits, puis ici, puis tous ceux qui viennent sur la montagne, puis c'est à Montréal, ben, je les accueille de la manière que je puisse. Des fois, je les dis, je leur avertis, j'ai l'Asperger, je suis l'autisme, puis j'ai tendance des fois à parler des sujets que je suis obsédé par, comme la géopolitique. Puis je m'approche trop proche, puis des fois je dis des choses bizarres, peut-être c'est bizarre, mais j'aime ça leur faire la requête, puis leur demander qu'ils mangent du fromage du Québec, qu'ils mangent du vin du Québec, qu'ils mangent des produits du Québec, là. Je sais pas, tu sais. C'est important, là, je sais pas. Parce que si on s'en va là-bas à Utah, mais on va manger des produits de l'Utah. On va manger des produits là-bas, on va manger local pour voir, parce qu'on est des Nord-Américains, on est Québécois, Canadiens, Nord-Américains. Je dis Québécois, Canadiens, Nord-Américains. Dans une autre vie, puis dans une autre, vous savez, je suis mystique. Fait que moi, j'y crois à des réincarnations, mais des fois, j'étais né homme, femme. 3 fois j'ai été né aux États-Unis après 1776, 1776, 1776, 1776, et j'étais né homme, femme, homme, femme, homme, femme. Un moment donné, j'étais né homme. 2 fois, j'étais né homme, j'ai servi dans l'armée des États-Unis, la même armée, 2 guerres différentes, 156 ans à part, 156 ans à part, 156 ans à part 156 dans 2 guerres, la même armée différente, puis une fois aux États-Unis, entre 1776 et 1995, j'ai été né femme. Maintenant, ben, vous avez moi-même qui est ici. J'étais né au Québec, j'étais né ici sur l'île, proche de l'île de Montréal, sur l'île de Montréal, proche de la montagne aussi. Homme, femme, femme, homme, femme, homme. Des fois 50. Maintenant, vous avez le dragon arc-en-ciel 50-50. Mais je suis un analyste théoricien géopolitique, puis je suis des bisous, des câlins, des châteaux, puis je vais jouer la défense, 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 comme au football américain, le football nord-américain. Je suis Canadien, Québécois, nord-américain, je connais ici. T'sais, je leur souhaite la paix, puis qu'on travaille pour l'alliance, puis des alliances, mais fondamentalement, je peux me prononcer par faisant, parce que je suis un analyste et théoricien en géopolitique indépendant, fait que ça englobe les régions, puis faut en dire que j'ai prédit la situation qui se déroule maintenant, je l'ai prédit en 2019, en octobre, parce que le mois d'octobre, c'est le mois même, c'est le mois de la géopolitique pour moi-même. Fait qu'ici, avec votre aide, puis je crédite des milliards de bisous, je veux que vous m'aidez à construire le temple de la déesse oubliée, le temple de la déesse oubliée, le temple de la déesse comme Dieu, vis-à-vis la pyramide, écarlate, rouge, rouge, écarlate, rouge, écarlate. La maison du dragon, la maison du dragon, la maison du dragon, puis avec le 3e bâtiment, 3e, le palais du peuple arc-en-ciel, puis je veux vous guider pour voir qu'est-ce que c'est doux là-bas. Ça a poussé à faire, ici, il y a des roches, puis ça a quand même poussé, fait que là, ça donne comme un bon signe de la mère nature, la déesse bien sûr, qui danse avec le soleil, je suis quand même de la poussière, puis avant que je discute la TRD, parce que c'est ça la solution, puis je pense que je vais me diriger chez nous, il est 12h44, parce que je veux me rendre chez nous à 3h. Fait qu'en voulant me rendre chez nous à 3h, bien sûr, j'ai la dinde, comme je l'ai montré au début, j'ai une dinde qui a été donnée, là je l'ai en arrière du sac, là, ça a décongelé, mais regardez ça. Comment ça s'appelle ces fleurs-là? Pas vraiment des fleurs, mais elles sont belles. Ça, c'est un signe de la déesse. J'en compte 44. 44, j'en compte. J'en ai compté 44 de même. Plus petites puis de grosses, mais j'en compte quand même 44. 44, 44, 44. 44, 44. C'est ça que j'en compte, 44. Et c'est des choses, bien sûr, que j'ai moi-même. 44, 44. C'est des choses, bien sûr, que j'ai moi-même. 44, 44. C'est des choses de moi-même que j'en compte. C'est des choses de moi-même que j'en compte. 44, 44, 44, 44, 44. Et j'en compte moi-même 44 là-dedans. Et bien sûr, vous voyez par là, puis par ici, puis par ici. J'en compte plus que 44 là même. Oh, il y en a même là. Oh, et là, il y en a bien plus. Mais regardez comment il est belle, puis c'est doux. Puis il y a de l'eau dedans. C'est mouille, ça mouille. Ça mouille. Ils sont belles, puis c'est vraiment doux, doux, doux. C'est vraiment doux, là. Wow. C'est vraiment doux, c'est vraiment doux. Doux, 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 en tout cas. C'est vraiment doux, fait que je sais pas c'est quoi, mais on va faire pour en faire, bien sûr, de faire de la théorie puis de la taille, c'est quoi, mais parce que je connais pas le nom, mais c'est doux puis c'est beau. Ça a de l'eau dedans. Ça a de l'eau dedans, c'est wow, c'est intéressant comment ça pousse. Chacune, ils ont de l'eau dedans. De l'eau dedans d'elle. Fait que ça tue parce que ça préserve de l'eau. Parce que ça fait de l'eau sortir. Peut-être, je sais pas, je suis pas sûr, mais c'est peut-être de l'eau qui sort. Mais c'est incroyable. Incroyable, incroyable, incroyable. Fait qu'ici, avec votre aide, je veux bâtir le temple de la déesse. Temple de la déesse que je crédite des milliards de bisous, des milliards de châteaux et des milliards de câlins. Puis là, il y a le soleil qui sort. Fait que je vais me diriger vers chez nous. Parce qu'il va être 1h, fait que juste comme je rentre chez nous, il va être 3h. Puis je veux nettoyage, j'ai du nettoyage à faire, j'ai de la cuisine à faire, j'ai du nettoyage à faire, j'ai de la cuisine à faire, puis je dois faire la dinde. C'est pas pour l'action de grâce, mais là parce que je l'ai don, puis je l'ai don, puis il y a un don, fait que je vais faire l'action de grâce aujourd'hui. On va faire l'avance, l'action de grâce. Tous les jours, gratitude depuis que je suis mort de la COVID, puis je vis 4 pédièmes tous les jours parce que j'ai survécu la COVID, puis là, Yo, le soleil, le papi sort, fait que c'est un bon signe que je me dirige, mais bien sûr ici, pour en faire bien sûr ici, c'est le temple de la déesse qui danse en cercle que je veux construire avec votre aide, puis la maison du dragon ici, la maison du dragon, écarlate, rouge, pyramide, 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 j'ai pas besoin de grand chose, là, vis-à-vis face à face, puis le troisième, le palais du peuple arc-en-ciel, juste là, 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 c'est ça que je veux bâtir, construire. C'est 3 bâtiments, travailleurs en construction, pompiers, boulangers, salutations. Salutations aux pompiers, salutations aux boulangers, salutations aux travailleurs publics, salutations à tous ceux qui sont en train de travailler dans les entrepôts, qui font de la cuisine, qui font dans le déménagement, dans le travail de l'Hydro-Québec. Je dois vous saluer, puis je dois vous encourager. Ceux qui changent les couches dans les garderies, tu sais. Faut que je pense à ça, ils changent les couches dans les garderies, puis là, je vais discuter la TRD, théorie de la refusion de la dette, bien sûr, parce que c'est la seule et unique solution. Il faut dire, bien sûr, quand je suis prudent, parce qu'il y a des branches qui tombent, fait qu'il faut que j'avertisse les gens qui viennent à cause des branches, qui soient prudents. Hello, you guys speak English?
Yeah.
Be careful because there's an added risk here. You see those branches? Sometimes they fall because the health of the trees is not that healthy. So sometimes I come here often, eh? So I toss them sometimes from the side, as you can see. See those branches?
Yeah.
So if you continue your venture in the forest, keep that in mind for your security, that there's a possibility of the branches due to the health of the trees to snap and fall, like, see? So if you hear something, be aware to move fast.
Run.
To run, basically. See, like all these branches, guys? See?
Yes.
Like that one, that one. Me, I tossed these ones the other day, last week. So, see? So,
Okay, thank you.
be careful, that's all.
Will be.
Bye-bye. Bye, you're welcome, bye-bye. C'est ça. Les branches tombent, là, fait que il faut que je sois prudent parce qu'ils ne connaissent pas la forêt, tu sais. Ils viennent ici dans la forêt, fait qu'il faut que je leur avertir parce qu'il n'y a pas d'avertissement là-bas à l'entrée, là. Puis c'est possible ici, j'en ai tassé cette grosse-là, là, puis ça tombe des fois. J'ai vécu un couple de fois, c'est tombé, paf! Puis tu veux pas tomber, ça tombe sur vous-même, ça, je veux pas que ça tombe. C'est pour ça qu'ils mettent un avertissement. Celui-là, cette branche-là, là. Check ça. C'est tombé, ça. Regardez ça. Ça, c'est tombé d'en haut, ça. Quelqu'un qui l'a tassé. Regardez ça. C'est ça la preuve, là. Tu sais, ça a tassé, puis tard. On la tasse sur le bord, on la dégage du chemin. Tu sais, on la dégage du chemin, tu sais. On la dégage du chemin. That's it, that's all. That's it, that's all. Fait on doit la dégager du chemin. On doit les dégager celui-là de l'autre chemin. On doit les dégager à l'autre bord, on doit les dégager à droite, dégager à gauche, dégager par la droite, par la gauche, par ici, puis par là. Fait que, soyez prudents, dégagez-les par là aussi. Soyez prudents quand vous venez ici. Ces branches-là sont grosses, là. Il y a un danger, puis aussi c'est le danger d'où que ça tombe, l'altitude. De plus en haut ça tombe, ça va avec vélocité, là, les mathématiques qu'on calcule, ça va être tombé plus en haut. Plus d'en haut, plus d'en haut. Fait que, soyez prudents. Juste soyez prudents, soyez prudents. Soyez prudents, soyez prudents. C'est ça, bien sûr, qu'il faut faire. C'est ça qu'il faut faire, bien sûr, maintenant. Mais c'est ça qu'il faut, bien sûr, faire maintenant pour les voir, puis pour les croire, bien sûr, maintenant. Que ça soit, bien sûr, pour les faire, bien sûr, pour les faire. Puis pour, bien sûr, croire. Mais savoir qu'il y a cette possibilité de danger, bien sûr, pour que les branches tombent, puis c'est ça qu'il faut avertir les gens. Parce que je veux que vous m'avertissiez dans ces cas-là, moi aussi. Et bien sûr, ça fait bien sûr un avertissement pour la prévention des incidents de blessures. Fait que là, la TRD, théorie de la refusion de la dette, 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 théorie de la refusion de la dette. Bien sûr, la TRD, théorie de la refusion de la dette, mes chers, c'est la seule et unique solution en ce moment. C'est la seule et unique solution en ce moment. T pour théorie, R pour refusion de la dette. T pour théorie, R pour refusion de la dette. La théorie de la refusion de la dette. C'est quoi? Pourquoi je dis que c'est la seule et unique solution? Du point de vue financièrement, puis ça sort du paradoxe aussi. Je vous présente sur la table la TRD vue et due à cause que j'ai cet intérêt obsessif qui est la géopolitique. Puis je suis un analyste intelligent géopolitique, puis bien sûr, quand on étudie la géopolitique, on doit savoir un peu sur la dette publique, sur tout ce qui se passe dans les finances publiques. Là, c'est rendu qu'on paye 46,5 milliards d'intérêts. C'est 46, cette année fiscale 2023-2024, on paye 46,5 milliards d'intérêts. 46,5 milliards d'intérêts qu'on paye sur la dette publique. C'est un chiffre énorme. Il n'y a pas d'autre solution, mes chers Québécois et Québécoises, que faire la TRD, faire l'implémentation de la théorie R, refusion de la dette, théorie de la refusion de la dette, la TRD. Pourquoi je dis ça? Ben, c'est dû justement à cause de ce que je viens de vous faire mention, qu'on paye 46,5 milliards d'intérêts. 45,5 milliards d'intérêts. C'est rendu que on paye plus que le double. En 2020-2021, écoutez ça, on paye 20,3 milliards d'intérêts. 20,3 fois 2, c'est 40,6. 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 C'était ça le montant qu'on payait en 2020-2021 à cause de la COVID. Puis, survivant de la COVID, j'étais malade, c'était comme la mort, la pestilence, la maladie, c'était comme la mort, la pestilence, la maladie, c'était comme la mort, la pestilence, la maladie. Puis, j'ai survécu. La COVID, ma renaissance dans la COVID, dragon arc-en-ciel, philosophe, artiste, athlète, théoricien, analyste en géopolitique, puis mystique. Et une spiritualité quand même rock'n'roll, mais la TRD, c'est la seule et unique solution. On paye 46,5 milliards d'intérêts sur la dette publique. C'est 46 000 millions, ces chiffres-là. Vous pouvez les faire la vérification vous-même, auprès bien sûr de Bill McClure. Tiff McClure, le gouverneur général de la Banque du Canada, le gouverneur général de la Banque du Canada, le gouverneur général de la Banque canadienne. On paye, c'est d'intérêt, on ne peut pas soutenir ça. C'est en plus que doublé, là. Ça a plus que doublé en 3 ans seulement. L'intérêt seulement qu'on paye sur la dette publique, mes chers. Le paradoxe, c'est que je mets sur la table, j'ai souffert à cause de l'Asperger, j'ai été en dépression suicidaire, mais tout le travail que j'ai fait, indépendant en géopolitique, en athlétisme, en philosophie, puis les écritures que j'ai faites, ça présente sur la table la TRD. Théorie, T pour théorie, R, refusion de la dette. C'est la seule et unique solution parce qu'on paye 46,5 milliards d'intérêts. C'est pour ça, ce motif-là, c'est à cause de ça que je dis que c'est la seule et unique solution. C'est pour ça, il n'y a pas d'autre solution, là. Mes chers, côte à côte, let's go, TRD, je vous l'explique le plus simplement possible parce qu'à cause de la condition de neurodivergence, étant Asperger's, l'ASPI, ça fait de moi-même que j'ai ces tendances et symptômes qui sont un peu étranges pour ceux qui sont neurotypiques, puis j'ai une condition de neurodivergence, ce n'est pas une maladie mentale. J'ai une condition de neurodivergence, j'ai des intérêts obsessifs. Le sport, l'entraînement physique, la géopolitique, puis le rock'n'roll, ma trinité, puis la TRD, je vous présente. Paradoxe, encore une fois. C'est quoi? On va prendre toute la dette publique-privée. Tenez compte que la TRD, théorie de la refusion de la dette, ça contient la théorie d'intégration monétaire. La théorie d'intégration monétaire, c'est exactement ce qu'ils ont fait dans la communauté européenne. Ils ont fait la création de la Banque centrale, qui ont fait moi-même cette création de la Banque centrale en Europe. Ils ont fait la création d'une nouvelle monnaie d'échange. Une nouvelle monnaie d'échange, qui ont fait la création de cette nouvelle monnaie d'échange qui s'appelle l'euro. Ils ont dû créer une banque centrale. Donc, la TRD, c'est ma TRD, théorie de la refusion de la dette, ça contient la théorie d'intégration monétaire, ce qui est la théorie financière qui ont fait l'implémentation en Europe. Fait qu'on va prendre toute la dette publique-privée, mon 10 000 dollars à la Banque royale canadienne, de côte à côte, toute la dette publique, vu que la devise des États-Unis, le dollar des États-Unis, est encore la devise pour le commerce global, le choix des finances, le tourisme, l'import, l'export, puis bien sûr, les importations, les affaires étrangères. On va faire la conversion de toute la dette publique-privée du dollar canadien, du Canada, en devise des États-Unis. On va mettre ensemble avec les États-Unis, l'Haïti, Cuba, c'est un paradoxe. Là, Jamaïque. Ben, Canada, premièrement, après ça, États-Unis, puis après ça, l'Amérique du Nord, puis tous ceux qui veulent, même si les Européens veulent. Fait que tout cet argent-là converti, la dette publique privée de toute l'Amérique du Nord, les pays de l'Amérique du Nord, converti dans la devise des États-Unis, ça va fonder une nouvelle banque. Cet argent initial. C'est là que ça rentre la théorie de la refusion de la dette. Fait que tout ça, ça va fonder une nouvelle banque. Tout cet argent-là, ça va fonder une nouvelle banque. Cet argent-là, ça va fonder une nouvelle banque. Cet argent-là, la dette publique privée, ça a fondé une nouvelle banque. Comment qu'on l'appelle, ça ne dérange pas. C'est le point principal que la dette publique privée, ça a été de l'argent en circulation. On va faire la création d'une nouvelle monnaie qu'on va appeler l'UI. U point unité, E point échange universel. U point unité, E point échange, U point universel. U point unité, E point échange universel, basé sur la valeur du dollar des États-Unis. Oui. U point unité, E point échange, U point universel. U point unité, E point échange universel. Oui. On va mettre un taux d'intérêt de 10%, un taux d'intérêt de 10%, un taux d'intérêt de 10%. Oui, avec cet argent-là, on va créer cette nouvelle monnaie basée sur la valeur des États-Unis. On va faire un gel des prix du beurre, prix du fromage, prix du pain, prix des œufs, prix des produits alimentaires, ces saucisses. On va mettre un taux d'intérêt de 10% avec cet argent-là. On va faire le refinancement, on va financer la construction des aqueducs, plus de centrales de l'Hydro-Québec, plus de centrales de l'Hydro-Québec, les gens font l'entraînement physique, les gens au tourisme, on va faire tellement de bien là, avec cet argent-là. La TRD, c'est la seule et unique solution pour la création d'une nouvelle monnaie comme l'a fait en Europe, mais pour l'Amérique du Nord.